Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Overstock Outlet.
Let's try this again. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you call a Frenchman who has been attacked by a cat?
I don't know.
Claude. I don't know why I love
What do you call a Frenchman who's been attacked by a cat? Claude.
Claude.
Nice.
Right?
He is, and he has been.
Nice.
Claude.
Nice.
Claude.
All right, there you go.
Claude.
All right, we are out and running. It's Friday, and this is the official, unofficial last day of KTRS, and then after this, people begin to scatter and take time off and
Like you.
get ready for the holidays and all that type of stuff. Last night was the KTRS office party, and I left about an hour ago to get ready for the show, and holy mackerel.
I actually was the last one to leave.
That's Sobe Bay. I tell you what, man, that guy can
He
put
was
him down.
Dressed great last night. He had a powder blue suit on and a matching tie.
Yeah, in the beginning, and then
The lampshade.
Then the lampshade.
you should have seen him in the copier room. I'm kidding. But, you know, back in the day, right, didn't those things
Well,
happen?
they act
There's a
like
reason
it was-
why it's a stereotype.
Yeah, well, it was also like what happened at the holiday party stays at the holiday party. Because then, like, the next morning, everything is, like, back to normal.
I will say this, that I worked for a radio station here in town. I won't tell you which one it was. It wasn't KTRS, but I won't divulge. They would have their Christmas parties in February because it was cheaper. I'm not lying.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. They're like, well, let's just do it in February. I was like, well, it's cheaper. I was like, guess we're not getting our Christmas bonuses this year. We're scrimping on the Christmas party to the point where we're going to have it in February. Okay.
Now, I know some restaurants do that. It makes sense for restaurants to do that because
Sure.
they're booked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. God love you. But what I was saying was KTRS, Bishop's Post every year.
Mm-hmm.
We accommodate the back room, and it's nice. You see people, you have a nice chance to talk with their wives and grand old time, and muckety mucks show up, and the owners of the station show up, and it's just a nice very time. I missed it last night, working double duty and having a 5-year-old puts a crimp in your schedule.
Everyone asked about you.
They didn't tell you that when you get a second job and you get a 5-year-old.
That was the number one question I received last night.
How is he doing it?
How's McGraw doing with the new show? I'm like, it's week 2. Ask him in a month.
It's killing me. No, it's actually, it's knock on wood. So far, so good. Today on the show, so we're going to sort of, well, anyway, the point is this, is that here's our Toys for Tots drive. So all day long, we are going to be talking to people and sponsors and doing the show and sort of intertwining Toys for Tots with the show, where if you're in the area or nowhere near the area, come by, bring a new unwrapped toy, stop by, say hi. We're going to be outside when? Starting at 8 o'clock, is that right?
I talked to Joe about
Or
this
9
last
o'clock.
night, and he said, whenever we want to.
Whenever we want to.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, not now,
right.
because Joe's
No,
not
it's
out there.
No,
Whenever we want to.
Joe's going to be here around 8 o'clock. If we want to go out at 8 o'clock, we can. If we want to go out at 9, we can also.
Gotcha. All right. How about that? Management leaving it up to us. It really was a late night for management, wasn't it?
As long as we continue to talk about it, they're okay with whatever you want to do.
How about that? It's about time I get treated with a little respect around here. Whatever McGraw wants to do. That's the first time that phrase has been uttered in the 25 years I've been here at KTRS. Whatever McGraw wants to do. Because usually it's, what does McGraw want to do? Well, let's do the opposite. So we've got a story about a football team headed to the state championship game in Florida. But on their way to the state championship game, they have to rob a Dick's Sporting Goods store.
As one does.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's getting some news down in, of course, it's Florida. Liberals. Rick Klein is going to be joining us to talk about the politics. We've got Stephen Portnoy talking about Kumar Garcia. And he's been released from an immigration detention. So what's going on there? He was the first. Judge ruled to release him. So we'll get into that with Stephen Portnoy. And if you watch, not Stephen Portnoy, he doesn't do it, but some of the national guys do it. They're talking normal, and all of a sudden they talk about Abrego Garcia. It's also a Maduro, if you notice that. There's a guy on CNN who speaks with perfect English diction. And then all of a sudden he's talking about Maduro. You're like, wait a minute, hold on a second. John Cohen's going to be joining us. Talk about this Somali story up in Minneapolis. So they've uncovered some Medicare, Medicaid fraud up in Minneapolis tied to the Somali community, but there's also been an arrest of a Somali man in Minneapolis, and that has sparked some controversy. So there's a tit for tat up in Minneapolis. We'll get into that with John Cohen. What else we got going on? Johnny Lano's going to stop by. Paula Anderson from Neighbors Credit Union. Greg Blanky is going to swing by. Pat Leahy from Outdoor Living is going to swing by. We've got Randy Carricker is going to stop by. Kevin Lloyd's going to stop by. So it should be a fun day with lots of conversation, lots of laughs. Oh, my goodness, lots of laughs. And bring a new unwrapped toy. And the Marines and everybody else will make sure that it gets to where it's going. That's the plan anyway, right? Bring a new unwrapped toy, and then they'll come and pick it up, and then they'll get to the kids all the toys. So it's a sweet little deal, and it's a fun way for us to sort of give back and everything else. Don't forget, before we move on, Monday is Light of Glennon. So make your plans now. Bring the kids, bring the Boy Scout troop, bring the Girl Scout troop, the knitting club, the quilt club, your book club. Spread the word, and then go sing some Christmas carols to the kids in the hospital. All right. With all that being said, from the Country Club Car Wash text line, anybody wear a lampshade at the party? That's the lampshade joke. 6:14 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky.
He was there.
Were you partying last night with the gang?
I was, but I couldn't find a lampshade. So.
All right. How late you stay? 2, 3? Did you close it down?
No, I made it early. It was an early night, like about 8:15-ish.
You know, I got to tell you, the food at those things are always spectacular.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great.
Right? Yeah, no. A variety. It's a smorgasbord, really, when you think about it. They got the pizza, but they got the pasta and the little things that I don't know what they were called, and the bigger things that I don't know what they're called. But great food over there at Bishop's Post. All right. Hopefully today is relatively easy on the roads in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no problems on the roads right now. Here are some road work notes for the weekend. In Jefferson County, tonight, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight. On Saturday, all lanes of 55 North will be closed at Gravois from 5 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon for tree removal and drain clearing. And Sunday at midnight, IDOT will close 2 left lanes of 6455 East over the Poplar Street Bridge to Barack Obama Boulevard. The closure will last until 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies, and then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
Lacey Lumber. They've had quite a number of Christmas parties. They've had, since 1872, they've had some Christmas parties. They also are a lumber yard. Actually, they're 2 lumber yards in Belleville, but it doesn't matter where they are because they'll deliver to the job site anywhere the job site is. Why has Lacey Lumber been so successful since 1872? Quality of the material. I think anybody would tell you that's the number one reason, because you got to have quality materials or the job ain't going to get done right. And so they make sure the wood is right, they make sure the materials are right, and they make sure the price is right, and then, of course, the customer service. Lisi Lumber has been beating the big boys at their own game for all these years. Another great sponsor here at the Big 550 KTRS. It's family-run, family-operated since 1872. So builders, contractors, homeowners, do-it-yourselfers, people who love to think they're a do-it-yourselfer. Lisi Lumber is where you go to get all of the materials. Timbers, Douglas fir, cedar, custom milling, hardwoods, timber trusses, floor trusses, roof trusses. They've got it all. Everything you need to build the doghouse, the outhouse, or the penthouse. Lisi Lumber or LisiLumber.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
All right, this one's a story. Happened in Florida, but it's one of these stories that you'll turn to your coworker and say, "Did you hear?" Mason Leith is our guest. He's a digital reporter with ABC News, and the story starts in Florida and a football team on its way to a state playoff game. And Mason, what happens next?
Good morning, McGraw. Yeah, exactly like you said. So according to police, 8 teenagers on a Philadelphia youth football team had traveled down to Florida for their championship game, and just hours before they were set to play, they were actually arrested. So the boys, they're 14 and 15, part of the United Thoroughbred team, they had traveled down to Polk County in Florida for the tournament. And according to police, on that Saturday morning, they allegedly Ubered over to a Dick's Sporting Goods where they stuffed bags and even their pants with merchandise, and they walked out of the store with almost $2,300 worth of stolen items. So because they were detained that afternoon, they ended up not being able to play in their championship game later that day, and they lost 26-6.
Did they Uber back to the hotel room after the robbery?
No, so unfortunately, when they were in the store, they had taken the items and the police arrested them on site. So they were taken back by police escort.
Not the sharpest knives in the box on the football team, but what was the motivation? Was it a dare? This is bizarre, bizarre behavior.
It is bizarre. So according to local police, what they had said was the boys they'd Ubered to the store and they stole 47 articles of clothing. So I guess they were trying to get football equipment. Some of it was clothing, some of it was mouth guards, helmets, stuff like that. And they had worked in teams of 2. So 4 were inside getting the articles of clothing and the 4 were outside watching. And so the sheriff had a pretty colorful press conference on it. And he said, quote, "I don't know if these were starters or not, I can tell you they were finishers. We arrested them." And he unrolled this giant oversized store receipt to show everything they were accused of taking.
And so they did they need the mouth guards? Did they need the pants or the shirts, or they were just taking things at random?
They didn't need any of the equipment. They had already had it for the football team, but this was just extra stuff that I assumed they saw, then they wanted it.
What did the coach say or the organization say? Did they say anything?
So according to the police, when the boys were detained at the site at the Dick's Sporting Goods, the coaches were notified and they actually came down to kind of see what was happening. And they were asking, according to the police, to let the boys go, to kind of let them off the hook without, any severe ramifications. But the police did not let that happen. And so the boys are now facing felony charges because of theft in Florida.
Yeah. Wow. What a bizarre story. They just sort of lost their mind, and who knows what happens there. But, all right, Mason Leith, ABC News digital reporter. You went to the ends of the internet to find that one. Thanks for checking in, my friend. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Mason Leith, ABC digital reporter. What was going through their minds? I mean, we all do stupid things as teenagers, but that one's really dumb.
Was it like a TikTok challenge or something? Like a dare? Isn't that what you asked?
Yeah. I can't believe they took an Uber to go rob something.
Well, they only got the team bus.
They only got $2,300 worth of stuff.
What do you mean only?
That's
a lot.
Yeah, but that stuff's expensive.
Yeah,
And if they
but
stuffed their pants in bags, I would assume that
What were they going to do with 17 mouth guards? I mean, what's the point?
sell them on the black market.
It was just sort of a stupid thing to do. Yeah. All right. So you got that going on for yourself. That one's. I don't know. For some reason I like that. That story.
If they're juveniles, can they be charged with felony though? Are juveniles allowed to get felony convictions?
I don't know. Disney and OpenAI have cut a deal. Now, with all the news over artificial intelligence, how they're taking, they're distorting, they're infringing, they're usurping real reality, and children are falling for fake accounts and fake people, and humans are having real relationships with bots. Disney announced a deal with OpenAI where AI created content, and I guess they're going to use Disney characters
and Star Wars and Marvel and Pixar
to create computer-generated Star Wars things.
Except Star Wars can't interact with Spider-Man.
So
so you can't have Mickey Mouse.
Wait, whose rule is that?
Disney's rule.
Okay, I thought that was some scientific rule or something.
No, you can't have.
I thought Albert Einstein was you cannot cross Star Wars with Superman.
You can't have Darth Vader and Mickey Mouse hanging out.
Okay, all right. So they do have some rules at Disney.
And no drugs, no sex, and no adult situations.
Yeah, this is going to end up well. Yeah. Okay.
And there's also a stipulation: if Disney likes what you do, they can take ownership of it and air it on Disney Plus.
And what? Not give you any?
That's TBD.
Yeah. This is a disaster. Why am I the only one who looks at this and says this is a bad idea? How can this get through all of the layers of Disney? And you can't.
Well, it's free content for them.
At Westwood One, I tried to get an email, and they were like, it's easier to break into the Federal Reserve than to get an email from Westwood One. And Disney's like, let's just cut a deal with artificial intelligence, OpenAI, where they can distort our Disney characters for memes? I don't get. Am I missing something? Do I not understand artificial intelligence?
People are going to do it anyway.
Yes. So
why not own it? Get in front of it. I understand the idea. I agree with you. It's going to end horribly.
Yes.
But get in front of it. Embrace it.
Holy mackerel. Access to 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters and accessories like lightsabers for users of Sora AI image and video generation plus Disney's stamp of approval.
Sora was Disney's version of OpenAI.
$1 billion deal. So now, well, I mean, I guess the Disney characters were sort of artificially created anyway, right? They're cartoons.
Yeah.
But the distorted nature of it, where they're allowing their product to be manipulated by everybody and anybody, including nefarious actors.
Well, and for what purpose? Like, what's the point?
To make a meme.
For $1 billion.
No, I mean, like, what's a meme? I don't understand. What's the purpose of, so you can distort whatever character you want and use it on a something?
You can do anything you want with it, yeah.
When, like, what are we doing with it? Why do I care? Like, why do I want to be able to distort a character? What am I doing with this character?
Probably to create some type of death threat for Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's sort of for entertainment purposes, which include death threats to our elected officials.
Okay.
That's why we would do this. So come on, man. Why do you think we would need to do this?
Yeah, so now you can have Goofy do a dance that you created yourself. Like if there's a TikTok dance, now you can have a Jawa or Spider-Man or
and in the process, as your energy bills go up with all these data centers, just know that you now be able to make Pluto drive a snowmobile as opposed to a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the videos that you're making?
In the videos that you're making, in the chips that are created through the data centers that you're paying for. That's the good part. So there you go. You got that going for yourself. 628 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Meep.
Not cool to joke about SB putting them back at the birthday party. Bad form. Who's SB?
I don't know.
Oh, Sobe Bay.
Oh.
Not cool to joke. Come on.
I honestly did not see Sobe with a drink in his hand, so I don't know.
All right.
Did you, Paul?
Sorry, I didn't. I
No.
didn't mean to offend anybody. I was just having a little fun. I apologize.
Sobe Bay.
I'll try and do better. 6:30. Here's Captain Paul in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no problems on the roads right now. So here are some road work notes for the weekend. In Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A amp to 55 North overnight tonight. On Saturday, all lanes of 55 North will be closed at Gravois from 5 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon for tree removal and drain clearing. And Sunday at midnight, IDOT will close the two left lanes of 6455 East over the Poplar Street Bridge to Barack Obama Boulevard. The closure will last until 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. Give the gift of savings this holiday season to the young savers on your list with a smart savings account from Neighbors Credit Union. They'll earn 10% APY on the first $1,000 in balances. Visit neighborscu.org for complete details. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, 32 degrees right now. Here's the plan for the rest of the day today. High of 37, so it's going to be as warm as about it is right now. Overcast, winds not too bad. Overnight tonight, low of 26. Tomorrow, 28 and cloudy. Sunday, 15 is going to be the high on Sunday. Again, winds not too bad, but up north, man, we missed a major winter storm all the way from Washington up through Chicago and the Ohio Valley and up through candidate. It's been a bear of a couple of days. So 15 on Sunday, and then Monday we're back into the upper 30s. And then next week, holy mackerel, we're in the mid to upper 50s through the middle of the next week. So right now it's 33 degrees officially at 7:30 at 6:31. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Days of torrential rain in Washington state has caused historic floods, stranding families on rooftops and washing over bridges. Experts warn that more flooding expected today could be catastrophic. Washington is under a state of emergency with evacuation orders for tens of thousands. And President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to block states from regulating artificial intelligence. He argues that heavy regulations could stifle the industry, especially given competition from China. In local headlines, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen is expected to address several key bills at today's meeting. This includes Board Bill 100, reauthorizing the city's earnings tax. And the Shrewsbury Parks and Recreation Department is inviting shoppers to kick off their holiday season at the Shrewsbury Holiday Bazaar on Saturday. This festive annual event will feature 100 vendors. It runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Shrewsbury City Center. 33 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
The question I want answered on that President Trump executive order, does that trump St. Charles 1-year moratorium on data centers? Right? Donald Trump says, look, it's the federal rules are going to determine everything about artificial intelligence. You need the data centers, right, to process the chips and the computer power and everything. You need the data centers. That's a very important part of artificial intelligence. And if St. Charles and some of these other places are saying, hey, well, we don't want your data center in our chocolate, then who wins?
Well,
St. Charles is out and the executive order's in.
Right. That's what an executive order is. It trumps it literally.
Yeah. No.
Trumps
Right.
all.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, my questioning is this executive order, so full steam ahead with a data center in downtown St. Charles? I mean, isn't that what that executive order said? Yeah. We'll wait and see how that all shakes out. Hey, the window store's got some windows. You like to put some windows in a data center, don't you? No, I'm kidding you. You want to put some nice windows in your house. You have lots of options. Boy, don't we know it. Lots of options. Why would you choose the window store over everybody else? Well, let me tell you. Larry Thornton has run the window store for, it's got to be 38 years now. He's been 3 years with us. Brought his son Joe in a couple of years ago, and together the two of them run a great company. They beat the big boys in every single way. Great windows, great doors. They have a great design eye. Their work ethic and their commitment to excellence is top-notch. Their pricing, significantly better than everybody else in town. Their installers have been with them 10, 15, 25 years. Their installers know what they're doing. So from soup to nuts, from beginning to end, no high-pressure sales, no weird marketing scams like buy one, get 7 free. The window store, you want one window, they'll sell you one window. You want 20 windows, they'll sell you 20 windows, and you'll know that every single window is energy efficient and every single window is priced right. So if you need windows or you need doors, the window store, wswindow.net.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. Wednesday the 17th, Frank and I will be heading to Worldwide Technologies headquarters for our annual holiday show. We'll catch up with some of the folks at Worldwide Technology and learn more about some of the amazing things they're doing around the world and right here in our backyard. That's December 17th. Frank and Jill go on the road to Worldwide Technology.
Fielder Electric Services has been meeting the needs of residents and businesses in the St. Louis area since 1987. As a family and Christian-run business, Fielder Electric believes in treating the customers the right way. Fielder Electric provides service to residential, industrial, or commercial businesses. Under the directive of a licensed master electrician, all work is completed by our professional electricians. Get a free quote from them today. Visit them online at fielderelectricservices.com or give them a call at 314-773-5185.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Dogtown! Dogtown pizza, that is. Stuff your stockings this year with one of 13 festive flavors. You know 4 meat and sausage, hot chicken and bacon, but do you recall my most favorite flavor of all? Pepperoni, peppercini. So let's all conspire as we eat by the fire. We'll frolic and play the Dogtown way. Make this holiday season a Dogtown wonderland. Happy holidays and Merry Dogtown!
Blues fans, it's Peanuts Night at Enterprise Center. On December 17th, the St. Louis Blues face off against the Winnipeg Jets. And with a special theme ticket purchase, you'll take home an exclusive bobblehead featuring Snoopy driving a Zamboni and Woodstock along for the ride. It's the perfect collectible for hockey and Peanuts fans alike, celebrating Snoopy's winter spirits and love for the game. Don't miss a night of hockey, nostalgia, and fun for the whole family. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Herbaria Soaps on the Hill presents top reasons why soap makes for great gifts. Over 60 delightful scents from essential oils. Protects and moisturizes dry winter skin. Crafted for longevity and long-lasting pleasure. All natural, eco-friendly, and made in St. Louis. Non-fattening, yet addictive. You'll know exactly what they want next year. Give the gift of soap with Herbaria Soaps on the Hill at 2016 Marconi or online at herbariasoap.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Overstock Outlet.
This is young Frank.
Oh, my goodness. How great is that?
Does he write his own tunes?
He did not.
I don't think so.
He did not.
He did not. I don't think so.
He would have been one of those people that Gene Simmons is advocating for.
How great is Frank? Today's his birthday, 110 years old.
Yeah. Or the anniversary of his birth.
How do you not like Frank Sinatra? How is it possible somebody out there is like, I don't like it. That is just, that song oozes cool, right? That's just cool. You can see him with a drink in his hand and a cigarette in the other hand.
Is that just one of those instances where he was like at the right place at the right time?
No.
Like starting this whole culture of singing.
He created a lot of,
Right?
That was a lot of his own creation, I would think.
And he'd redo his own songs. As McGraw's like, which version? This is very young Frank. You can tell in his voice. And then he made that, when he changed record companies, he just redid the same songs with different arrangements.
There's a great story about Frank Sinatra. He was trying to record something, and he was in a recording studio, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. He wasn't nothing. Couldn't do anything but nothing. And they were at their wits' end. And Frank went outside and invited complete strangers to come into the studio, and they set up chairs, and he sang to the audience and knocked out the song.
Like a nightclub.
Yeah, he needed people in front of him.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah. And then there's that Paul Anka documentary on HBO done by Jason Bateman, and he talks about at one point Frank turns to him and says, I'm done. I'm leaving show business. I'm done. And so Paul Anka goes to New York, and he's like, well, if Frank's done, maybe I should do like a final anthem for him. And so he sits down, and he had this melody in his head for My Way. Takes him 5 hours. He writes My Way. And then he calls up Frank, puts the phone down, plays the piano, picks up the phone and says, what do you think, Frank? He's like, I don't know. So according to Paul Anka, who was on this show and told me that story, that Frank was a little, apprehensive at first about My Way. And then, of course, recorded it, and it became his anthem and became one of the greatest songs ever recorded. So there you go, which is so fantastic. My Way. It's the best. 7:42 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, more Frank today would be all right with me.
It's going to happen.
We'll do that. All right, coming up in a bit, we got Rick Klein going to talk about this week in politics. Both health care plans have failed, which is good. But come January 1, health insurance premiums are going to go through the roof. So no relief in sight as they continue to throw tomatoes at each other in Washington, D.C. And then a little bit later on, Johnny Londoff's going to stop in. We've got a whole Toys for Tots campaign today. We're out at Westport. 8 o'clock or so, we're going to start meandering outside. We're going to have big bins set up, bring new unwrapped toys. And while you're on your way over here, check out the new glove by Rawlings on the top of the Gold Tower. They've now installed lights on the thing. Have you seen this thing?
Yes.
It looks fantastic.
You can see it at night now.
Oh, my goodness. It looks tremendous. They've got the big Rawlings sign on the side of the building, and then they have a glove on top of the building, which, think about the engineering marvel of this. You've got a giant glove on top of a tall building, which more or less acts like a sail. So it's not just a little, antenna on top of a building. You've just put a sail that's going to catch the wind as it goes by.
Literally.
So you've got an engineering feat to tie it down so the glove doesn't get blown off the top of the roof, or the roof doesn't get blown off the building. So that's a feat. That's something. They put it up, a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. But as you drive by 270 and Page, Worldwide Technologies, world headquarters, and then Rawlings has their world headquarters out here, right next to the big giant KTRS sign right there on 270 and Page. Yesterday, speaking of Worldwide Technology, you were there when this happened. So we're talking about a company, and they're talking about this company, and I said, to be quite honest with you, I really don't know what this company does. And I went to their website, and it speaks in gibberish and, platitudes, and, we're there for the working man's business, right, with all of your computer needs and all. That was actually more specific than what it actually said, right? We are bringing bold innovation to the 21st century. You're like, what does that mean exactly?
It means they make a lot of money.
Yeah, and they work with all these companies, and I just have no clue what this company does. So somebody in the office says, well, they're a lot like Worldwide Technology. And I was like, well, that's good, because I really have no idea what Worldwide Technology does either. These companies, they make billions, and nobody can really, in 5 minutes you're talking to me, like, I still don't exactly know what you do. Josh was inside sales for Worldwide Technology. Now, you ask yourself, what is inside sales? Yeah. Apparently, when somebody needed a computer, they went to Josh, and Josh bought them a computer. I'm like, why didn't they just call you
So he's like a personal shopper?
Procurement officer. Inside sales, that doesn't make any sense.
So it's like when they need anything.
Right.
He's just goes and gets it?
Well, he would, I guess, go to Amazon and order it or something. So he was inside sales
or
at Worldwide Tech
sales
Technology.
like the PaySmart or something, where you have like a inside vending machine. Somebody just brings, which I think is such
He
a
ran
fabulous,
the coffee pot.
Yes.
he ran the sandwich cart and the coffee cart as it went through at noon. We have ham and cheese and liverwurst.
That's inside sales, isn't it?
6:46 here. Captain Paul Kopsky. I know what Captain Paul does. Captain Paul tells us the weather. The traffic. Throws in a little weather, too. St. Louis Closet Company traffic. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane down. That will cause slowdowns later on. In Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight tonight for road work. And IDOT has postponed all road work on 6455 East over the Poplar Street end and early next week. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies, and then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, the rates dropped a little bit this week, and so more people entering into the real estate market to buy, more people entering in the real estate market to sell. And so you're going to start to see some signs around town, Reese Nichols, and you're going to think, oh, that's a new company. Actually, it's not. It's been around 125 years in the state of Missouri, and they had signs, Reese Nichols in Kansas City, but on the St. Louis side, they didn't call themselves Reese Nichols, so it kind of didn't make any sense. So recently, maybe the last couple of months, they've now switched over and they've changed all the signs to Reese Nichols. So it might be a new sign, but it's all the same great agents that have been working the St. Louis metropolitan area for years and years and years and years. It's that experience. It's that knowledge about the market that is going to help you buy and help you sell. Gone are the days where you get in the back of a car and they drive you around showing you nice little houses. Yeah, that's just one aspect of it. Then you got to market it. Then you have to negotiate it. Then you have to get through the final sale. All of that takes experienced agents, and Reese Nichols has them. So they've been in the state of Missouri 125 years, big supporters of local charities, big supporters of St. Louisans, buying or selling. They've got it all. Reese Nichols or ReeseNichols.com.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm-fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, it's 6:51 here. Rick Klein joins us, ABC News, Washington, D.C. Bureau Chief. Rick Klein, so Washington flexes its muscles and makes sure that nothing can get done on health insurance premiums. Where do they go from here?
Well, we're kind of stuck. I mean, it's crazy to think we had that huge government shutdown, longest in history, and it was all about these health insurance premiums. And now Congress, with basically the last thing it's doing for the holidays, takes these votes and nothing happens. And people are going to see higher premiums under Obamacare. There is no fix. There is no reform. And the president said through the White House again yesterday that they're going to have a plan soon, but there wouldn't even be a plan to act on at this point. Congress is out of here and is not going to take this up at least until after the new year.
So everyone's complaining about affordability. All of a sudden, you're going to get 30 million Americans who have sticker shock come January. How is that going to land? Who's going to get blamed?
Well, I mean, look, that will be the big question of the midterms, I suppose. The issue that is being laid out already for voters around affordability. The president gave a big speech that was supposed to be about affordability this week, a midterm preview. The White House said it ended up being kind of a lot like his campaign speeches of a year ago. And also, again said that he views this word affordability as what he says a Democrat scam. So he hasn't fully taken responsibility at all at this point. We'll see if that changes as we get closer. People are obviously frustrated for a lot of reasons with where things stand in terms of prices. And will the president be successful in convincing people that it isn't the problem that they're feeling?
I'll tell you what, I was shocked to learn that Indiana and all those Republicans rejected President Trump and failed on that redistricting map. Read the tea leaves for me. Is that a one-off or is something amiss here with Trump and some of the Republicans? Are they moving on or moving away from him? What's going on?
Yeah, this is the biggest rebuke I can think of this year in any state or even at anything that's happened federal or state level, to have Indiana Republicans, and they dominate the legislature there, the Senate there. I think it's a 40-10 advantage, and they still couldn't get a majority behind this idea. When you look at the relative ease with which he was able to push through new redistricting in a range of other states, it really strikes you as something. And look, that's Mike Pence's home state, and Trump won it very handily all the times that he's run. But I do think there's something stirring where people are saying, wait a second, we don't have to do everything he tells us to do. And now after the fact, Trump says he wasn't trying that hard anyway. So we'll see. He's predicting that they're going to lose in elections next year. We'll see how hard he tries on that front.
But the Republicans in Indiana had to have read the tea leaves in their own district and must have gotten pushback from Republicans in their own districts to say don't do this, right? I mean, they don't do this in a bubble. They put their finger up in the air. They see which way the wind's blowing and act accordingly. So you have to assume that they didn't get a whole lot of support in their hometowns for this.
Yeah, no, absolutely, that's the case. And I think the only way you can really process this is to realize they're dealing with local pressures, they're dealing with local issues, they're taking their own political futures and their own sense of their communities into account, and that is striking because we heard concerns in other states, we heard other places where they were saying, wait a second, maybe this isn't good, and maybe even it backfires in some way. But still, they kept this on. They decided to keep it on. Here is something different, and I agree with you entirely. This is pretty striking.
Donald Trump always could command the room, but he seems like he's getting a little more angry, a little more vitriol, a little more willing to sort of lash out. Do you agree? And what's going on there with some of these comments he's making?
I mean, look, he's always had a tendency or the possibility of him, lashing out at any moment. And I don't know if there's something new or different about that. I do think, though, as he gets more political setbacks, as he gets more frustration in terms of what he's up against, you'll see more of it. You'll see more, outbursts like that. And, frankly, I think that what you see in Indiana as well, people will start to just naturally break with the president because they realize that their own futures may not be totally aligned with what the president's point of view is.
Rick Klein, what happened to Dale Murphy last weekend?
Very disappointing. Very disappointing that Murph did not get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But, he's such a great guy that he's got the right spirit. We'll be back at it in 3 years. He offered just congratulations to Jeff Kent. And, I hope we get a better committee in some ways in 3 years, and I hope people continue to appreciate that he just flat out belongs in the Hall of Fame. Very disappointing, but it's baseball. It breaks your heart.
That's who the game was designed to break your heart. Rick Klein, ABC News. What's coming up Sundays with George?
Yeah, we're going to have Senator Mark Warner, the Vice Chair of the Intelligence Committee, on, along with Congressman Mike Turner, talking about Venezuela and what's going on there. I mean, we're seem like we're on the brink of really what appears to be war with the now with the detaining of that ship in addition to everything else. And we're also going to be breaking down the latest indicators out of the economy. I think you're right. Setting up the midterm year, it's going to be the big issue.
Yeah, I want you to know I'm not rooting for Dale Murphy, but I am sympathetic to your cause. If there were a brave I would root for, it would be Dale Murphy. But my DNA will not allow me to root for Dale Murphy. But I feel your pain and I am sympathetic to your cause. How about that?
I respect that, and let me spend the next 3 years trying to convince you otherwise, okay? We'll see what we can do by the time they vote again.
Rick Klein, ABC News. Have a good weekend. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks so much.
6:56 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane down there. 64 East is heavy in Lake St. Louis. In Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight tonight for road work. And IDOT has postponed all road work on 6455 East over the Poplar Street Bridge. It was scheduled for this weekend and early next week. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Weather for the next couple of days. We dodged a bullet because there's a whole lot of rain and snow and wind and the wintry mix all north of us. We just got a little wind and a little chilly. Today, high of 37, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, so you can put up your 20-foot Santa. You should be okay for that. Overnight tonight, low of 26. Tomorrow, high of 28, and then Sunday, high of just 15. Plenty of sunshine. The sun is just not working. Right now it is 33 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS with this wind and rain that's coming on. We had snow. We've already had 10 inches of snow, apparently. How's the roof holding up? Well, if you need help, you need Dalco. 50-plus years in St. Louis. DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. At Dalco, roofing, gutters, and siding. Yes, you need a good roof, you need good gutters, and you got to have quality siding because if one fails, they all fail. And at Dalco, again, 50 years in the business, not new to St. Louis, not new to the Big 550 KTRS, but a new sponsor for the morning show. So we'd like to welcome them in and give them a big how do you do. At Dalco, their system goes just beyond shingles. It's a complete roofing system that's designed to comprehensively protect your home. Yes, they'll work with your insurance company. Yes, they'll work with you. They'll make sure the job is done right. At Dalco, right, with all the leaves falling and the debris falling and the pine leaves, that gets into the gutters. You got to make sure that's right. You have the freeze and the thaw cycle, gets under the shingles. That's a nightmare. Siding, yeah, all of it's connected. So DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. That's DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. Hey, today, bring a new unwrapped toy to Westport. Come on by the radio station. Say hi. We're going to be broadcasting outside most of the day. You've got all sorts of great restaurants. You got Trainwreck. You got Basso. You've got, what else you got going on? The Soda Fountain. You've got... well, you got Kobe. You got Kobe Grill. You've got Drunken Fish. Come on by, grab some lunch, bring a new unwrapped toy, and we'll make sure it gets to a kid in need. We are just getting started on our Toys for Tots toy drive here on the Big 550 KTRS, 7 o'clock KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A day after a federal judge ruled that he should be released from custody, Kilmar Albrego Garcia has arrived at the Baltimore ICE field office for a check-in. ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest developments.
On the steps of an ICE facility in Baltimore, supporters rallied as Kilmar Albrego Garcia headed for a check-in with immigration officials. He spoke to supporters through an interpreter.
I believe
that this injustice will come to its end.
Hours after a federal judge ordered his release from ICE custody, saying the administration never properly ordered his deportation, an immigration judge filed new paperwork correcting what he described as an error. This morning, Judge Paula Sinise issued a temporary restraining order to prevent Abrego Garcia's redetention. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
The Senate rejecting legislation to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits and rejecting legislation setting up health savings accounts for those on the ACA marketplaces. Those moves meaning millions of Americans will see a steep rise in their health care costs beginning January 1st.
More than 20 million Americans are anxiously waiting. Some, like Stacey Cox, are now coming to terms with the prospect of their health care premiums quadrupling.
If those credits aren't extended, we don't have health insurance. We can't afford it.
Many Republicans are anxious to get something done with midterm elections next year threatening their majority in Congress.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio, Republicans trying to maintain that majority by redrawing congressional maps in several states. On Thursday, Indiana lawmakers refused to do that. GOP State Senator Spencer Deary.
After considering all the arguments offered in support of mid-cycle gerrymandering, I see no justification that outweighs the harms it would inflict upon the people's faith in the integrity of our elections.
Racing to leave parts of Washington state, tens of thousands are under evacuation orders as torrential rains flood highways and neighborhoods and cause power outages. This is ABC News.
Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
It's the ultimate Cardinals weekend. The 29th winter warm-up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. Experience 2 days of non-stop Cardinals excitement, from clubhouse tours and Hall of Fame and museum access to autographs, auctions, memorabilia, and more. Join the fun. Meet your favorite players and support Cardinals Care, helping kids across the community. Admission tickets are on sale now. Visit cardinals.com/WWU to be part of the action.
M1 Bank. Banking on a mission through the power of purpose. M1 Bank invests in low-income housing and renewable energy to support communities nationwide while maximizing returns to our local communities. M1 Bank has locations in downtown Clayton, De Pere, and Creve Coeur, and online at m1bank.net. M1 Bank believes in the mission to help people through the power of purpose. This inspires and propels our community outreach, which is why we are proud to support Light Up Glennon.
Since 1950, Flanagan Paint and Supply is a St. Louis paint company that has been providing the homeowner and professional painters with top quality products, competitive prices, and to be the leading paint company for architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings. With experts in paints and stains and other custom home products on staff, Flanagan's has your resources to be your one-stop for style, with locations in Ellisville, Webster Groves, St. Peters, Edwardsville, and Wentzville. There's a Flanagan's Paint and Supply near you. Online at FlanaganPaint.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Hey, did you know you can borrow a telescope or a fishing pole from St. Louis County Library? It's true. St. Louis County Library's Library of Things is a unique collection of non-traditional library items, including musical instruments, GoPro cameras, binoculars, pickleball equipment, games, portable projectors, and more. It's perfect for a one-time project or to try an item before you buy it. So explore the collection and discover your next new thing to borrow. Learn more at slcl.org.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Appliance Discounters and Aldon Heating and Cooling.
.33 degrees at 7:05. Here's what's happening now. Missouri's new congressional map is now in effect. The map, which was signed by Governor Mike Kehoe, divides Kansas City among 3 congressional districts. Opponents of the map raced to get signatures turned in before Thursday, hoping it would stop the map from going into effect. They succeeded, only to have both the Attorney General and Secretary of State tell them the map is in effect anyway. The investigation continues into the massive warehouse fire in downtown St. Louis late last month. Police say they are analyzing debris from the fire and sending it to Washington for forensic review by the ATF. Authorities are still searching for a person believed to have been inside one of the warehouse buildings at the time of the blaze. The City of St. Louis Department of Human Services and its partners are activating emergency shelters in accordance with Code Blue protocols. This will remain in place through December 17th. Currently, 285 emergency shelter beds are available with a surge capacity up to 345. This is in addition to 400 year-round shelter beds. Additionally, in anticipation of snow on Saturday, the street department will begin pre-treating snow routes this morning. A former Southwest Airlines executive has been to work on the redevelopment of Lambert Airport, including a push to develop a consolidated rental car facility. Greater St. Louis Inc. announced it has contracted with Jason Van Eaton for the project. Van Eaton previously held the position of Chief Regulatory and Corporate Affairs Officer. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Noel Florist. A place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 33 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, Rose, don't forget it is our Toys for Tots campaign today out at Westport. Come on out, have some fun, have a little holiday cheer. This hour is presented by Appliance Discounters and Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialists. We've got Stephen Portnoy a little bit later on. We got John Cohen is going to swing by and talk about, Stephen Portnoy's got Kumar Abrego-Garcia. And Dr. John Cohen has got this Somali story up in Minneapolis is getting a lot of attention. And then, of course, we'll be full-blown the next hours after that, all local with Johnny Londoff and Paul Anderson and Greg Blanke and Pat Leahy and all big sponsors of the Toys for Tots kickoff here. Randy will be along. Blues, not so well last night, huh?
No.
What happened?
Steven Stamkos scored 4 goals on us.
Yeah, that's not good.
And they play tonight against the Blackhawks here. Joel Hofer will be in goal, so it might have a different outcome.
Okay. All right.
Or there'll be entertainment in the stands.
All right. Well, we got that going on for ourselves. All right, good. There was something else I wanted to touch on before I was so rudely interrupted.
By yourself.
Well, by... So, did you see this story where they looked at thousands of obituaries?
No, for what purpose?
So they researched and looked at thousands and thousands of obituaries.
And who's they?
They.
The man.
The all-encompassing they.
They. There was a study done. Researchers analyzed 38 million obituaries spanning 30 years. They wanted to see collectively what values about the meaning of life ended up in your obituary, right? Because that's your final say, and what is put in your obituary is what clearly was important to you in your lifetime, right? What you're proud of, what you accomplished, what you want the world to remember on your way out the door.
Well, someone writes it for you, though, right?
Well, some people write their own obituaries.
Seriously?
Yeah. John Carney had a friend who was dying of cancer, and he wanted to go to his own funeral, so they threw the funeral while he was alive.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic
And then when he died, they didn't have a funeral because they had it when he was alive.
Yeah.
Which, Philip.
Say your goodbyes.
Philip, that's the way to go out, my friend.
Celebration of life.
Yeah. So religion and caring dominated the obituaries. Tradition appeared in 80% of the obituaries, while benevolence, caring for others, appeared 76% of the time, far more than achievement, power, or pleasure. They also found out that COVID-19 permanently changed how we remember the dead Benevolence language in obituaries dropped sharply 1 month into the pandemic and still hasn't recovered 4 years later, despite widespread behavior during the crisis. Gender stereotypes followed beyond death. Men were remembered more for achievement, power, and conformity. Women were remembered more for caring and pleasure. Men's obituaries showed dramatic changes across the lifespan. Women's remained remarkably stable. The average person lives about 4,000 weeks, and when they die, their entire existence is usually compressed into roughly 175 words. That's it. And so all of this comes down to 175 words. Put another way, an obituary chosen by loved ones, those words become the final public record of life, capturing what mattered most and what made life worth living.
So where are most people submitting obituaries these days, since people aren't really reading newspapers as much as they used to? Is
Funeral
that still
homes.
a thing?
Funeral homes, they have them.
Okay.
Legacy.com.
Legacy.com.
Right, so it's got to be like webs, but like before
they
it used to be
have,
the Post.
They still have.
Right?
They still have an obituary section in stltoday.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you the story when my father died. We didn't do an obituary only because we didn't know you had to do an obituary. How many times did your father die? So God loved the man. So he dies, and we have a nice little send off. And so about 2 or 3 years later, I'm talking to Uncle Georgie, my brother, and he says, you guys never did an obituary. And at that point, I was like, nobody ever nobody ever said, who's doing the obituary, right? One sister never said to me, I never said that wasn't in our sphere because we were, coping with our father's death. And so I turned to my uncle, I was like, well, okay, well, so what? And he goes, well, for years I'd be walking down the street and somebody would say, hey, I haven't seen Harry in a while. How's he doing? And he'd say, oh, no, he died. Oh, I didn't know. So nobody knew he died.
Oh, so it's more of an announcement.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I was thinking like maybe the obit would kind of go outdated just with the way of everything. Like people just do more, in-person celebrations
An
of life.
obituary is going on Facebook and saying, my mom died.
Right.
Please pray for us. And she was a wonderful woman, and she, did all these wonderful things. That's an obituary. It doesn't have to be, an official whatever.
It didn't even occur to me that it was like an announcement. So people didn't, if you don't do one, then no one knows.
Yeah, so his brother's walking down the street. Hey, how's Harry doing? Oh, he died. He's walking down the street. Everyone's like, hey, how's your brother doing? Oh, he's dead. He died 3 years ago. Oh, I didn't even see the obituary. Well, they didn't do one.
What was the time span between the ones that they went? You said they looked at all these obituaries from how far back did they go? Meaning, because like the majority of the obituaries, the people that passed were probably similar, like in the elderly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
30 years, 38 million obituaries spanning 30 years.
Wow.
So there you go. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. It's not what you think is important in life. Is in those 175 words.
Can you imagine just reading obituaries all day and compiling? Just be like,
well, I don't think they did.
I
think the data centers did it through the artificial intelligence and the
keywords
and the same people that do the hiring call the obituaries.
Right.
7:14 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the latest is a crash on 55 North past Revis Barracks, blocking the 2 right lanes. The estimated clearance time is 8 a.m. In the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, we have road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with 1 lane down there. 64 East is heavy in Lake St. Louis, and there's a stalled vehicle blocking the left lane of 364 West past Route K. Another stalled vehicle in the left lane of 55 South before Arsenal. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies. And then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
Mark Miller was in the studio the other day. What a good man getting ready for the holidays. And what's great about Miller Furniture is that if you're looking for a gift or something, when it comes to furniture, we have Miller Furniture right here. It is a well-run company, and they're buttoned up. They take care of their employees. It's a great St. Louis company, and they have quality American-made furniture that will last. You walk into one of their 4 showrooms, the minute you walk in, you're, clearly this is a different experience. So that's one. 2, you're treated with the respect you deserve. They don't have salespeople that come and go. They have longtime interior designers who this is their career. They understand design. They understand style. They understand patterns. They understand feng shui. They have got a deal going on at Miller Furniture. They've got shop end-of-the-year clearance sales through January 4th. You can save up to 50%. They've got up to 60 months financing. You can take an extra 25% off luxury mattresses from Chatham & Wells. Look, they've always got deals at Miller Furniture. They've been selling furniture for coming up on 100 years. Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows. Ellisville on Manchester Road. Belleville, their world headquarters. And then, of course, Fairview Heights, the region's largest mattress showroom, not to mention all the name brands, the Stickleys, the Amish furniture. I'm telling you, you're looking for furniture. You found it at Miller Furniture. MUELLER, millerfurniture.com.
St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer returns to the Family Arena this Sunday at 3:05 p.m. to battle the Milwaukee Wave and its Superhero and Princess Knight with a promotional T-shirt giveaway.
Spins it in!
Make your plans to catch all the end-to-end action as your ambush battle the Milwaukee Wave. A youth soccer clinic before the game and a post-game autograph session following the game. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, go to STLambush.com.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Let's talk about legacy. Yuengling, 196 years of brewing. So meet the next generation of light beer. Flight, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Flight is crisp, clean, and actually tastes like beer. It's time to level up, St. Louis. Flight from Yuengling.
Blues fans, it's Peanuts Night at Enterprise Center. On December 17th, the St. Louis Blues face off against the Winnipeg Jets. And with a special theme ticket purchase, you'll take home an exclusive bobblehead featuring Snoopy driving a Zamboni and Woodstock along for the ride. It's the perfect collectible for hockey and Peanuts fans alike, celebrating Snoopy's winter spirits and love for the game. Don't miss a night of hockey, nostalgia, and fun for the whole family. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
$7:21 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Kumar Abrego Garcia back in the news, Stephen Portnoy. Some big news on this one. What did the judge say?
Well, fast-moving developments in the last hour, really. So let's bring everybody up to speed. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, mistakenly deported by the Trump administration in March, sent to his native El Salvador despite a standing order from the immigration judge that he should not be removed to his native country for fear of persecution. They sent him there anyway. And then the Supreme Court said you got to bring him or facilitate his return. They brought him back to face federal charges in Tennessee, which his attorneys say are trumped up and cooked up to try to, essentially retaliate against him and his supporters for, existing. The latest is that the Tennessee judge overseeing that case said he's free to go pending the proceedings in that court. And yet ICE took him back into custody, saying, no, he's in the country illegally, and he's not just free to walk around. And by the way, don't you know he's a member of MS-13, which he denies? And don't you know that he is accused of beating up his wife? And so therefore, he was in detention. The judge in Maryland, who's been overseeing this case since the start, said, as she looked at the paperwork, she goes, wait a minute. I'm looking through these papers. I've been looking through these papers for months. I've never seen the proper paperwork that would justify his original deportation from 2019, or the order to remove him from 2019. And there's nothing, therefore, that justifies his continued detention by ICE. And so, therefore, yesterday, sitting in Maryland, Judge Paula Sinise ordered his immediate release from custody. And at 7 o'clock last night, at 5 o'clock yesterday, he was released. And at 7 o'clock last night, the administration tried to up the ante, get ahead of this, put in a new immigration judge's order that said that, in fact, here is the order of removal. What the judge in Maryland said was missing. Well, this morning, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was ordered to appear, or instructed to appear, at an ICE facility in Baltimore for a check-in. And there was a rally in Baltimore, and there was a lot of fear that maybe he'd be taken back into custody this morning because of that maneuver last night by the administration. Well, this morning, the federal judge, Paula Sinise, sitting in Greenbelt, Maryland, said, nope, here's a temporary restraining order directing the government to not detain him. And yesterday, they vowed that they would appeal her order, and you can imagine they're going to say the same today, and we'll see. But for now, this back and forth continues, and, the hope of supporters at the rally this morning in Baltimore was that Kilmar Abrego Garcia would walk in and out of that building and be able to spend Christmas with his family in Maryland.
And so is he in custody or is he out of custody right now?
This morning, as I'm speaking to you, I'm watching a live picture from Baltimore, and I'm looking at the building where Kilmar Abrego Garcia walked in about 45 minutes ago. He hasn't walked out yet, but certainly everyone's on hand hoping that he will. now that the judge has issued this order. But there was a lot of fear this morning among his supporters that because the immigration judge last night at 7 p.m. put forward this new piece of paper that said, oh, this was a scrivener's error, here's the order of removal, that might prevent him from walking out today. As I read the temporary restraining order, it seems pretty clear to me the government cannot legally hold him.
Yeah.
We'll see what steps they next take to try to outmaneuver that.
What's stopping them from just regular old arresting him on charges of domestic abuse or gang member activity or anything like that?
Well, due process. I mean, look, the argument that he's a member of a gang stems back to a piece of paper that no one in the administration can actually fully explain. There was an informant back in 2019 who whispered, basically, I'm characterizing this, who basically whispered in somebody's ear at the Prince George's County Police Department in Maryland that this guy is a gang member. But what that allegation was, he was a member of a group based in Long Island. Well, he's never lived in Long Island. And so how could he be a member of a group that, and this is their terminology, they use the term clique, MS-13 clique. How could he be a member of that clique if he never lived there? And so the suggestion by his attorneys is that was a false accusation. Now, the president has said, just look at his tattoos, you can see. All right, well, that's the argument. But even still, it goes back to 2019. His argument has been that he wasn't a member of MS-13. He may have been associated with a rival gang, and that was the reason he couldn't be sent back to El Salvador, because if he were, it was the barrios and this, that, and the other. And the immigration judge accepted that argument back in 2019 and said, all right, well, we will prevent you from being removed to your native El Salvador because, there's a risk for you there. And what the judge yesterday said was that in that order back in 2019, there was nothing that actually affected his removal to another country. The administrations wanted to send him now to Africa. They've wanted to send him to Uganda or Liberia or Ghana. He wants to go, he says if he has his choice, he would go to Costa Rica because at least he speaks Spanish. But suffice it to say, this is a back and forth that has been, I think it's fair to describe it as objectively as I can, as tortured. This is a back and forth where this man has been bouncing around like a ping pong ball legally. And, the administration's position rather firmly is that this man has no legal right to stay here. That he came to this country illegally, and there's no basis for him to remain here. But the judges who have overseen this have said, yes, but there are limits to the government's power. You can't just lock a man away because somebody whispered in somebody's ear that he's a gang member, or you don't like his tattoos, or there was an accusation that he committed domestic violence, but there were no charges filed. And so, again, accusations are not proof. And, yesterday in the White House briefing room, the press secretary said that he's a proven gang member. There's no proof. There's suspicion, there's accusation. Proof is different. And the judges are trying to maintain that legal standard.
Stephen Portnoy, once again, you've made the very difficult very understandable. Hang in there. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
You bet.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. 728 here, Big 550 KTRS. Galmish & Sons. Galmish & Sons, a family-run heating and cooling company that a lot of them don't exist anymore, right? There's one of the few remaining, Galmish & Sons. A lot of them, right, the family has grown up, and they've retired. They sold off. The next generation didn't want to do it, so the hedge funds come in and they buy them up. And what do? The hedge funds come in, and now you're doing it the private equity firm way, which is jack up the prices, take it or leave it. And you can't believe some of these prices, right? People in these family-run businesses are like, I can't believe they're charging this much for that. At Galmish & Sons, still very much and very proud to be a family-run business. In fact, the dad still loves what he does all these years. Still comes into the office, is still working at Galmish & Sons. It's a family-run business for 75 years. And they haven't jacked up the prices. They haven't sold out to private equity. People have worked there, part of the family, Part of the family. They've been there so long at Galmish & Sons. It's a great place to work, and it's a great place if you need heating and cooling work, right? If you need a new system or to add on to the system, it's all about Lennox air conditioners and furnaces, but they'll fix any make and any model. Galmish & Sons Heating and Cooling, 314-993-1110, or always online at galmishandsons.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw crash on 55 North past Revis Barracks is blocking the two right lanes. The estimated clearance time is 8 a.m. In the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane down. 64 East is heavy but on the move in Lake St. Louis. And there's a stalled vehicle blocking the left lane of 364 West past Route K. Another stalled vehicle in the left lane of 55 South before Arsenal. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Weather. Where's the time gone? Weather. Next couple of days. Here's what you got. High today of 37 degrees. Plenty of clouds, no sun. Overnight tonight, 26. Tomorrow, 28 with clouds. Saturday, the sun will come out. That's the good news. The bad news, high of just 15 on Sunday. 33 right now with cloudy and hazy conditions out there. 7:31. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The Utah man charged with killing Charlie Kirk has made his first in-person court appearance as his attorneys push to further limit media access in the high-profile criminal case. A Utah judge on Thursday heard arguments about the public's right to know details in Tyler Robinson's case. The defendant's attorneys say the swarm of media attention could interfere with his right to a fair trial. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been released from an immigration detention center in Pennsylvania following an order from a federal judge issued Thursday. He's lived for years in Maryland, where he has an American wife and child, since originally immigrating to the U.S. illegally as a teenager. In local headlines, U.S. Senator Dick Durbin will be making a stop in the Metro East today. The Democratic lawmaker plans to hold a press conference at the Cahokia Heights Health Center at 11 this morning to speak on the Senate Republicans' vote to raise health insurance premiums. And the Missouri History Museum will unveil a 1,000-square-foot exhibit tomorrow that tells the story of Forest Park's 150-year history. The exhibit explores major events, everything from the 1904 World's Fair to the May 2025 tornado. The exhibit will be on display until May of 2027. 33 degrees. Time now is 7:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
It's December. 2025 is coming to a close. It's time to celebrate the holiday with family and friends. It's also Business Planning Month. And with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act now law, strategic tax planning is more important than ever. Hi, I'm Jeff Azufal, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisor Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on the tax law, Keep What's Yours. I'm launching my newest book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill, on January 6, 2026. Since 1976, thousands of area businesses have relied upon Capital Advisor Group for strategic tax and financial planning. Why pay more in taxes than you are legally obligated to pay? The Big Beautiful Bill tax law takes the guesswork out of tax planning. Strategic tax planning can save you thousands. Give us a call at 636-394-5524, or you can visit us on the web at Capital Advisory GRP.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$7:35 here, Big 550 KTRS. John Cohen joins us, ABC News consultant, former counterterrorism coordinator at the Department of Homeland Security. Minneapolis and Somali Americans have been in the news now for a couple of days. Lots of things going on. John, let's try and break all this out. First, it was this Medicare-Medicaid rift. There was some Somalis who were involved in some fraud and allegations, stealing millions and millions of dollars. And now there's been some backlash with the Somalis, and now they've arrested a Somali American. Break all this out for us. What's going on up there?
Well, in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, there's it's one of the areas where Somalis who fled Somalia, going back decades, relocated in the United States. Some of them were under refugee status. Some of them were asylees. Others just simply immigrated. There are a couple other places in the country where we see large concentrations of Somalis as well, like Columbus, Ohio. But for the most part, I did a lot of work with when I was at Homeland Security with local authorities there. Because there were concerns about the potential that Al-Shabaab, a terrorist group in Somalia, would try to reach back into the Somali communities here. So I became very familiar with it. They're a vibrant community that's a key part of those cities up there. However, there have been examples where members from those communities have traveled over to Somalia to fight with Al-Shabaab, and there are also a very extensive Somali organized crime presence within the U.S. That's involved in human trafficking, fraud offenses, and others. So just like any other community in the United States, there are elements of it that are integrated into our society and are contributors and a part of a vibrant community such as Minneapolis is. But there's also criminal elements as well.
And so they've arrested this Somali American citizen, which has created quite a bit of controversy. What's the controversy over this arrest?
Yeah, so as we've spoken about multiple times over the past months, McGraw, the approach, this administration came into office loudly stating that they were going to ramp up efforts to target those in the country in an undocumented or unauthorized status who were involved in criminal activity, in particular violent criminal activity, or represented a national security threat. Very similar to what was done in the Obama and Bush administrations, where investigative resources, prosecutorial resources were very, very focused on visa overstays and others who represented a public safety or national security threat. In reality, what has happened, however, is that there has been a major surge of federal personnel, particularly Border Patrol, and other federal law enforcement agencies who have basically been sent to cities to roam the streets of those cities looking for people that they believe look like immigrants. And in some cases, it has resulted in the arrest of criminals. In some cases, it has resulted in the detention of people who may be here in an undocumented status, but were working, paying taxes, as landscapers or construction workers or even healthcare providers. In care centers. And in some cases, it's actually led to the detention of U.S. citizens. And in this case, an individual is asserting that he was tackled to the ground by an ICE officer who detained him and sought to have that individual prove that he was a U.S. citizen, which, in fact, he claims he is. And it just raises a really interesting concern that is beginning to law enforcement circles, which is, by redeploying Border Patrol in particular to American cities to engage in these roving patrol-like operations looking for undocumented immigrants, you're putting them in a position where they are carrying out a mission that, quite frankly, they're not trained to do, and they're relying on authorities that may apply to the border but don't apply to stopping people in our cities and communities, which, if they are performing the function in a city or a community, they have to play by the same rules that local law enforcement plays by, which is you have to have reasonable suspicion before stopping and detaining somebody, and you have to have adequate cause to arrest somebody. And, just putting it bluntly, tackling if the allegations are true, tackling somebody because they look like an immigrant and then asking that person to prove that they're not is not the way it's supposed to be done.
Okay, so I want to dive into that. We all know this is the land of George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, and we've all seen the video, and everybody talked about it. And I think America is relatively well schooled on police procedure, what you're allowed to do. Right? You need probable cause, all those types of things. You have rights, Miranda rights, and all those types of things. ICE, are they supposed to follow the similar procedures as local police, or do they have some special powers that they don't need to? Explain the breakdown and how different ICE is from local police, or if there is a difference.
Well, and you'd have to add in there Border Patrol as well,
sure.
which is doing a lot of this patrol work. So the short answer to your question is ICE does, when it comes to detention and removals, ICE can operate under one of two authority lines. One, if there is a order for removal, a court order that says, this person is subject to be removed from the United States, they can go out and look for that person, and they can then take that person into custody, put them in detention, and then move to push them out of the country. They also have the ability, if they have information that leads them to believe somebody they are coming into contact with is potentially here in an undocumented status, they can then legally detain that person and investigate and verify that status. But they have to have information similar to what a local cop has to do. They have to have information that would lead a reasonable person to believe that that this person is violating the Immigration and Naturalization Act and could potentially be subject to removal before they detain that person. Border Patrol, when they're operating at the border, has the ability to basically ask anybody coming across the border or everybody coming across the border to prove that they are entering the country legally. So they have much broader authorities at the border, whether it's at an airport, port of entry, or whether it's along the southern or northern borders. However, what they're now doing is they are taking that approach and those authorities, and they're applying it to what they're doing in American cities. And that's where the question is, because most legal experts agree, and even people that used to run Customs and Border Protection agree, that if they are going to carry out a immigration enforcement mission in a city, in a local community, away from the border, they have to follow the same rules, which is they can't just stop people indiscriminately. They have to have reason to believe that that person is in violation of the Immigration and Naturalization Act. So what's being alleged in some of these cases, and what we've seen in some of the videos, is not only are there allegations that they are just stopping people randomly and detaining them until they can prove that they're not here undocumented, but they're also using force. And as we've talked about in all of the, over the years, when you have a use of force situation, the first thing you look at when examining that is whether the person was stopped legally. So, these are it's complicated, it's nuanced, but this is the general issue that's causing so much concern and debate across the country right now.
Well, and that leads to a whole other set of problems, right? You hear that these detention officers or ICE or Border Patrol rolls up to a Home Depot and just rounds up all the dark-skinned men who don't speak English. And we all, common sense tells you there's a pretty good chance they're not here legally. But can they just round up all those people outside of Home Depot who are brown-skinned and don't speak English?
So that's a great question. So the first answer is it depends. Right, and there is a growing body of law enforcement experts who believe that that isn't legal, and I'm sure there's going to be, but I will leave it to the courts to decide one way or the other. But there's a second question that your example raises, which is that the best use of our resources? We've had the Trump administration raise concerns about the level of screening and vetting of people who have come to the country over the last several years. As we've talked about before, we've improved our ability to vet people coming to the United States substantially. But if they believe that they should improve that capability, that should be where they're focusing. We've heard concerns raised about undocumented immigrants who are involved in violent activity. if they believe that that's the priority, that's where they should be focusing. So at the same time that they're rounding up the people at Home Depot, we also are having, violent crimes occur by people who are here in an undocumented status. Why are they? My question as a law enforcement person is, why is that person still running around? If we have all these resources out there patrolling these cities, why aren't they focused on people like the individual who stabbed people on the light rail in Charlotte, North Carolina, as opposed to picking up, college students and people who are waiting outside of a Home Depot so they can help build a house?
Yeah. Last question for you, John Cohn, and I've brought this up, and I don't know how many other people have brought it up. Maybe it's sort of about to come up, but we're about to host the World Cup this summer, and we're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors from all countries come into this country on a 7-day visa, a 30-day visa, a vacation visa. The number one way that undocumented visitors stay in this country is through the visa program, right? They stay, their visa runs out, and they end up staying. Do you see this summer being a nightmare for people coming to this country, either wanting to stay or the fights with the federal government? And it sounds to me like this is shaping up to be a nightmare summer when it comes to all this.
I think there's an opportunity that this is going to be an incredible event for the country. We're going to have soccer fans or football fans from around the world coming here to watch the World Cup. I know that there are extensive plans underway to ensure that that's done in a safe and secure manner. But you've raised one of the key issues that planners have to be concerned about is how are you going to vet these people? How are you going to make sure that people aren't using this type of event to secret into the United States, terrorists or criminals? How do you deal with issues like human trafficking and human smuggling, which occur, when you have a single venue game? But in this case, you're going to have multiple venues in, I think, 11 regions across the country in Canada and Mexico. How do you prevent these events from being targeted for acts of violence or cyber attacks or others? And then how do you ensure that, one, you're facilitating not just the athletes coming into this country, but the fans, and how are you ensuring that when the games are over, they leave as required in their visa? These are all the challenges. And not to be snarky about this, that's where we should be applying our resources. Right? We should be leveraging ICE and CBP and other federal law enforcement authorities to reduce the potential for terrorism or criminal acts. We should be making sure that our screening and vetting capabilities are fully up to speed to make sure that only legitimate fans are coming in, not terrorists and criminals. We should be making sure that the criminal activity that's residual to these types of games are not occurring. We don't need Border Patrol officers driving around in trucks looking for people who look like immigrants and detaining them.
John Cohn, ABC News consultant, former counterterrorism coordinator at the Department of Homeland Security, and a frequent guest. John, great weekend, great insight. Have yourself a good day. Thanks.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
You got it. 7:48 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky is in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's a crash on 55 North past Rivas Barracks with emergency vehicles blocking the two right lanes. The estimated clearance time is 8 a.m. Route A is closed westbound at Parr and Edinger in the Wentzville area due to a crash. We have a two-car crash on 64 West at McKnight, blocking the right lane with traffic backed up to 170. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane down there. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies, and then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Dr. Velvet Hands is dubbed that for a reason. Dr. Bowen. By the way, I just got an email from him thanking me for turning him on to Appliance Discounters. He said, man, they took care of me. They take care of everybody at Appliance Discounters, even famous dentists like Dr. Bowen. Look, you bite down on a hard candy, you crack your tooth, you got problems. Yeah, Dr. Bowen can help. Teeth whitening, teeth cleaning, Invisalign for the kids, Invisalign for the adults. All of it is available at Dr. Bowen. He's always on the cutting edge of technology. He's always got the latest and the greatest, including implants, which have actually been around for a long time. Look, one-tooth problem, yeah, he can solve it with a one-tooth solution. Every single day, somebody comes in there, and they've got all sorts of implant things going on. When, if it's a one tooth, if it's two teeth, maybe it's dentures. Yeah, Dr. Bowen does all of that. Matter of fact, other dentists send their patients to Dr. Bowen because he's so well respected. He's not corporate. He's not hedge fund. He doesn't charge you $50,000. His procedures start as low as $7,000 to help you restore function with simply secure dentures. So here's what you do. 2 locations, Lee May Ferry Road or on Dunn Road in North County. 2 locations, 1 great family dentist, and Dr. Velvet Hands at a moment's notice. 314-921-3500 or simply securedentures.com.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. Wednesday the 17th, Frank and I will be heading to Worldwide Technologies headquarters for our annual holiday show. We'll catch up with some of the folks at Worldwide Technology and learn more about some of the amazing things they're doing around the world and right here in our backyard. That's December 17th. Frank and Jill go on the road to Worldwide Technology.
Experience the magic of the holidays as a cherished tradition returns to Powell Hall. The St. Louis Symphony Orchestra presents Mercy Holiday Celebration, a festive performance that promises to fill the air with cheer. From the joyous sounds of sleigh bells to exciting twists on timeless classics, this concert featuring St. Louis native Kennedy Holmes and the SLSO Symphony Chorus brings the season to life in a way that only the SLSO can. December 20th through the 23rd. Tickets at SLSO.org.
Herbaria Soaps on the Hill presents top reasons why soap makes for great gifts. Over 60 delightful scents from essential oils. Protects and moisturizes dry winter skin. Crafted for longevity and long-lasting pleasure. All natural, eco-friendly, and made in St. Louis. Non-fattening, yet addictive. You'll know exactly what they want next year. Give the gift of soap with Herbaria Soaps on the Hill at 2016 Marconi or online at herbariasoap.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Fielder Electric Services has been meeting the needs of residents and businesses in the St. Louis area since 1987. As a family and Christian-run business, Fielder Electric believes in treating the customers the right way. Fielder Electric provides service to residential, industrial, or commercial businesses. Under the directive of a licensed master electrician, all work is completed by our professional electricians. Get a free quote from them today. Visit them online at fielderelectricservices.com or give them a call at 314-773-5185.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art chess center featuring world-class tournament playing halls, classrooms, library, and casual play spaces for everyone who loves the game.
But it's so much more than a place to play.
It's where champions are built on the board, in the classroom, and across the community with a mission to bring the game to everyone from all levels, with membership starting at just $15 a month.
Discover the excitement, the challenge, and the community of chess at stlouischessclub.org.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for Bishop's Post. It's that time of year again, so make sure to get your reservations at Bishop's Post for Christmas and New Year's Eve. They're filling up for holiday parties too, so get those reservations. Bishop's Post, located in Chesterfield at bishopspost.com.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Appliance Discounters and Aldon Heating and Cooling.
Not in a shy way. Oh no. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. All right, we got to cut this off. This is Carl's yelling at me. We got to get to traffic. We got to get to traffic. No, we don't. You know what, cousin traffic, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go your way. Wherever you're going to go, you're going to do it your way. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. A crash on 55 North past Revis Barracks has been cleared. We have a two-car crash on 64 West at McKnight, blocking the right lane with traffic backed up to Hampton. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Appliance Discounters is a huge supporter of the toy drive today. We thank Appliance Discounters. You betcha. TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Thank you for supporting the toy drive, Appliance Discounters. And the Country Club Car Wash, man, they are coming in like wildfire. Listen to this. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I needed this song. I feel so good. Frank Sinatra turns 110, the greatest song ever recorded, my way. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The legal saga of Kilmar Abrego Garcia goes on. A federal judge this morning issuing a temporary restraining order preventing ICE from taking him back into custody. That move coming a day after she ordered his release from detention. ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
Supporters cheered on the newly released Kilmar Abrego Garcia as he walked into an ICE office in Baltimore for a check-in. About an hour later, he walked out. Overnight, an immigration judge who works for the administration moved to correct what he described in papers as an error, a move to firm up the legal basis for Abrego Garcia's deportation. But in response this morning, Maryland-based federal judge Paula Sinise issued a temporary restraining order to prevent him from being taken back into custody.
Bracing for health insurance premiums to skyrocket in the next couple of weeks. ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce says that's what millions of Americans are doing right now.
Health insurance premiums for more than 20 million Americans are set to soar at the end of the month after the Senate failed to act. Republicans blocking an effort to extend expiring Obamacare subsidies, arguing the whole system needs to be overhauled.
Also failing, a Republican plan to set people up with health savings accounts. Unlike Texas and a handful of other states, Indiana has rejected new congressional maps.
Lawmakers in deep red Indiana rebuking pressure from the president, rejecting a redrawn congressional map that would have likely netted Republicans 2 congressional seats next year. Some lawmakers saying they received anonymous threats before the vote.
That's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio in Washington. Multiple water rescues in parts of Washington state.
Emergency workers fear the longer this goes on, the more people are going to need rescued. And just as the waters may begin to recede, there's more rain in the forecast starting Sunday.
ABC's Trevor All. Thousands of people have been evacuated amid flooded neighborhoods and roads, as well as at least 10,000 power outages. You're listening to ABC News.
It's the ultimate Cardinals weekend. The 29th winter warm-up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. Experience 2 days of non-stop Cardinals excitement, from clubhouse tours and Hall of Fame and museum access to autographs, auctions, memorabilia, and more. Join the fun. Meet your favorite players and support Cardinals Care, helping kids across the community. Admission tickets are on sale now. Visit cardinals.com/WWU to be part of the action.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
Here's a myth. Your furnace doesn't need attention until it breaks. Truth, that's the fastest way to lose heat and gain bills. Since 1959, Aldon's been fixing homes and busting myths. And right now, we're offering a $79 furnace safety inspection for new customers. Because comfort isn't a guess, it's a system. Add healthier air this winter with $100 off a whole home humidifier. And if your system's aging, ask about the ultra-efficient Daikin Fit system. Smaller, smarter, quieter, built for real comfort.
Aldon, indoor air quality specialists. Comfort you can count on, family you can trust. Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you that trees naturally enter dormancy as temperatures drop. Trimming during this period minimizes stress on the tree and reduces the risk of disease. Removing dead or crossing branches helps promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance the tree, lawn, and landscaping health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
A weekend at home or a weekend RVing? Staring at your neighbor's security lights or counting stars? Watching the Travel Channel or sitting around the campfire with friends? Break away. Get out of town in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, Lordos Diamonds, and Neighbors Credit Union.
.32 degrees at 8:05. Here's what's happening now. The City of St. Louis is partnering with state and civic leaders for a new winter outreach aimed at helping tornado victims. The city is making hotels and rental assistance available to tornado-impacted families with children, seniors 65 years and older, and individuals living with accessibility or functional needs. The St. Louis Mayor's Office says officials are reaching out to people via email and phone calls while also going door to door to understand people's needs this winter. Meanwhile, city leaders are activating emergency shelters in accordance with Code Blue protocols. This will remain in place through December 17th. Currently, 285 emergency shelter beds are available with a surge capacity up to 345. This is in addition to 400 year-round shelter beds. Those in need of a shelter should call the United Way at 211. A former Bridgeton pediatrician has admitted to trading prescription drugs for sex. Yesterday, Dr. Craig Spiegel pleaded guilty to several charges, including illegal distribution of controlled substances. Investigators say they found evidence that Spiegel used pain pills to groom patients into sexual relationships once those patients became adults. Spiegel is scheduled to be sentenced on March 24th. A new online directory is helping Missourians find smoke-free housing. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services has worked with the American Lung Association on this project, which is designed to protect people from secondhand smoke where they live. Tobacco use remains the leading cause of preventable death in the state, and Missouri has one of the highest smoking rates in the nation. The Missouri Smoke-Free Housing Directory now allows you to find smoke-free housing options. Property owners and managers are also encouraged to list their smoke-free properties in the directory at no charge. More information about Missouri's Tobacco Prevention and Control Program can be found at Mo Tobacco Program at health.mo.gov. This program is said to not only protect residents from secondhand smoke, but also reduces the risk of fire and supports people in their efforts to quit smoking. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Missouri is seeing more initial unemployment claims. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were just over 4,500 initial claims filed during the week ending on December 6th. That marks an increase of nearly 1,900 cases from the previous week. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 32 degrees. Time now is 8:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, we're going to give this guy the text of the day. You ready for this one? Well, it was great until McGraw started singing. And then how about this one? I'm driving from Tucson to Gold Canyon, Arizona to play some golf this morning, which is at the base of Superstition Mountain, and the sun is rising behind the mountains. And you guys created an awesome moment getting to hear My Way from Frank Sinatra with this marvelous scene in front of me on the road. Thank you very much. Happy Friday. Yeah, that is.
You're welcome.
There you go. Hit them straight, buddy. Fairways and greens to you. 8:09 here, a Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Christmas trees with some people who know all about Christmas trees. Evan Parker, community forester from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
And Amanda Wood.
Hi.
Is that your married name or your maiden name?
That's my maiden name.
Oh, my goodness. So you were born into Love and Wood.
Love and trees, yeah,
Yeah,
for
Love
sure.
and trees, you betcha. All right. You guys are here to talk about Christmas trees. Fresh cut Christmas trees. The only way to go. What do we need to know?
Well, a lot of people get this idea that artificial trees are better for the environment, and I'm glad that people are thinking of the environment. But ultimately, those are made of fossil fuels and are usually made overseas and have to get shipped over here. Versus live Christmas trees are usually grown in our area, and while they're being grown, they provide all these functions that trees provide, like sequestering carbon. So really, they're kind of the more environmentally friendly option.
So the more environmentally friendly option is the fresh cut Christmas tree.
Right, because you're not making these plastics out of fossil fuels, shipping them, emitting all this carbon when usually they get thrown away after just 5 or 6 years.
Not to mention the carbon footprint to get it from China to your house here in St. Louis and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Really very interesting. Okay, that's one. Let's see here. Any other advantages of a real Christmas tree versus an artificial one besides the obvious?
Well, if you also think about it, there's the aesthetic value of it as well. It smells great in your house as long as you're taking care of it and keeping it, healthy. And then also afterwards, you can use it for a lot of different things like gardening or mulch, or even if you have a lake in your own property, you can put it into that lake or pond, and it can create habitat for fish.
Yeah, talk about that for a second, because I don't think a lot of people realize they sort of put it out at the curb at the end of the season. But there are a lot of people who recycle it in a lake. Normally, you're not supposed to throw things in a lake. You guys are encouraging to throw Christmas trees into lakes?
Yeah, well, not any lake, specifically the one in your backyard. But it is, if it's in the shallow portion of that pond or lake, it can create habitat for fish spawning and reproduction because they like that more shallowly protected area. So if you do that, don't overcrowd it, obviously. You don't want to do 500, Christmas trees in a small pond.
Sure, right.
But it, can provide that.
How long will it stay there before it degrades or disintegrates?
It's a good question. I think it depends on the species and how big it is and things like that. But definitely a number of years it should continue to provide that habitat.
Interesting. Okay, good. Tell us about the Christmas tree industry, because that's also a very important part of this, right? So talk about the industry itself.
Yeah, so generally Christmas trees are grown on farms that are still kind of small, generally family-owned farms. There aren't a lot of big, national corporations who grow these on huge plantations. Usually they're somewhat local or regional farms that grow these, and then a lot of times they're sold on those lots where you see them sold by Boy Scouts or churches or other kind of community groups like that. So it's beneficial to buy those as well, because all that money is going to, our regional farmers, our regional landowners, and community organizations.
Talk to me, are there any rules or regulations or standards? If you cut one tree down, you have to plant 4 more. I mean, these guys are all about planting for future years, right? I mean, it doesn't do them any good to cut down all the trees and not plant any new ones. Talk about that whole cycle for a moment.
Yeah, generally the Christmas trees in our area, they're really kind of grown like a farm would be, so it's not really as much of like growing them in the forest.
Right.
And so it is kind of like a crop that they grow where, they cut them down and they replant new ones in those places and just kind of keep that cyclical.
How long does it take from a seedling to, I know Christmas trees can be any varying degrees of size, but how many years does it take once you plant it to be able to harvest it?
Yeah, I'd say like 7 years. It just depends on the species, because some of them are slow growers, some of them are fast growers. Typically for farms, you want the fastest growing one so you can get, product out. So probably about 5 years from seed to 5 to 7 from seed to tree.
All right. So what do we do when we cut a fresh cut Christmas tree? What are some of the things we have to do to sort of keep it and keep the needles on it during the holiday season?
So you always want to make sure that when you are putting it into the stand, you want to do a fresh cut from the farm to your house so that, you're not, it can actually absorb the water. And then you want to make sure you're watering that daily. That's how a lot of house fires and stuff can start, is if it's dried out and you have lights on and stuff like that, it gets dried out in the heat. Another thing too is even before you bring it from your house to, from the farm to your house, shake it and make sure that there's, the needles are still, there. And that it's thriving. And then, just check on the water daily, add it as needed.
I always forget, do you put salt or do you put sugar in there?
Neither.
No, yeah,
just
water.
water. People,
all right, well, that's
people
good.
think
That's
that-
better.
Yeah, but in the trees, when they're making, when they're making food, if you will, they're doing that through photosynthesis out of carbon in the air, and so putting anything in the water doesn't really help. They just need that water to keep them fresh.
So just water every day.
Well, check daily.
Check daily.
Add as needed.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Shake all the needles first before you bring it into the house. That actually probably gives you a couple days head start, I would think.
And before picking it out, because if a bunch of needles fall off, it's probably an older tree that you're probably not going to want.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We talked about putting it in a lake or something for fishing habitat. Any other ways we can recycle a Christmas tree?
Yeah, so you can cut off limbs or mulch it yourself to and place that mulch or those limbs in your garden. If you don't have the kind of capability to do that yourself, a lot of municipalities can also pick them up, and then they'll make that mulch available for the public. Or if you want to make some habitat but you don't have a pond on your property, you can even just set it in the corner and kind of add that what we call a brush pile to make some habitat for all sorts of different wildlife, birds, snakes if you like snakes, maybe not snakes if you hopefully not snakes if you don't like snakes.
No. Don't tell people
like
snakes
that.
come by. They're not going to do that.
Hey,
Come
they
on.
keep rodents out of your house,
All right. That's all right. Solid. All right. Anything I missed? Anything you guys wanted to tell us about Christmas trees that I didn't get to? Lots of information here.
No, just that if it's a great alternative, and if you even buy one that comes with the root ball and the dirt and in the pot, you can also plant that in the spring and have a Christmas tree in your yard.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do that, right? The first Christmas tree for the little one, and then 10 years later, that we got that for their first Christmas. You have to plant it in the spring. You can't plant it after Christmas. You got to wait till the spring.
I like to wait till the spring because then it's more reliable with precipitation and rain and whatnot. Also, the ground might not be frozen. I'm hoping for a nice white Christmas, a nice cold Christmas. That means the ground might be frozen, and that's a little harder to dig in.
Is there one Christmas tree species better than another we should buy if we're planning on planting it here in St. Louis?
I would say if you're going to plant here, a lot of evergreens and conifers don't do great in our climate.
Yeah.
So I would honestly say, which they're not always super easy to find, but our traditional eastern red cedar is our main native evergreen in this area. And so if you can find one of those, that's what's going to do the best and grow the best.
Can I ask you guys a leaf question from regular trees?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So I was reading where there's a new movement where you just leave the leaves on the yard and you don't rake them, you don't mulch them, you just let them be. Mm-hmm. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really valuable thing for a number of reasons. First, a lot of insects will use that habitat to overwinter. So a lot of our pollinators, our butterflies, things like that we like to see, use those fallen leaves as habitat. But then also one of the big problems in our urban and suburban soils is that lack of organic matter. Because if you think in the woods, there's always going to be those leaves left on the ground, and that's what makes the soil healthy for plants. And so leaving those kind of reintroduces organic matter into the soil. And you can mulch them if you want to kind of help them break down a little faster and not look so obvious.
Right.
But leaving those is very beneficial.
And then does it kill the grass? Does the grass come back in the spring? Does it take half the season for the grass to come back, or the grass never comes back? Or do we care?
It kind of depends on the amount of sun. So if in the spring you could move the mulch or the leaves closer to the tree for like a ring around it,
right,
and then open up that grass for,
Yeah.
if you like turf and whatnot. So.
Sure, because I took my leaves and just put them in a big pile in my back. I have a nice yard, but I put them in the corner, and they're all sort of piled up. Now they're sort of decaying and going down. I'm assuming that's going to turn into some type of compost at some point, right? And I can take that and then spread it around or rake it up or something, right? I mean, that's the whole idea.
Yeah. And that's what kind of happens even if you just leave them out there. If you break them down a little bit, eventually they'll kind of get
I'm
into
all
the soil.
I'm all for the helping the world, but I don't want leaves all over my yard. So
Well, and even if you just can leave them in a part or leave them, like Amanda said, around trees or something like that where they'd be most beneficial, that's good.
That is Evan Parker and Amanda Wood, community foresters with Missouri Department of Conservation. Website to find out everything we need to know about fresh cut Christmas trees.
Yeah, just the Missouri Department of Conservation website, which is mdc.gov, and then or mdc.mo.gov. Sorry. And if you want to find more about Christmas tree, you can search Christmas tree care.
Amanda and Evan, good stuff. You guys are always welcome here to talk wood and trees. So don't let Dan scare you off, all right?
Okay.
All right, good.
Thanks for having us.
All right, don't forget, proud sponsor is Ted Drew's Frozen Custard and the Fresh Cut Christmas Trees. 8:20 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kowski, take it away in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder of 64 West at Clayton Road, causing a slowdown back to McKnight. Route A is closed westbound at Parr and Edinger in the Wentzville area due to a crash. In the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane down there. And 270 North is running without delays from South County into Town and Country. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with debt removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies, and then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
Okay, let's do this. It's 8:21 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Michael's Baths. Got a call yesterday from a prominent St. Louisan. I will not mention their name. Prominent St. Louisan. And if I did, everybody would know who it was. Hey, let me ask you about Michael's Baths. What do you want to know? Do you really like them? Yeah, I really like them. Have they done anything at your house? No. Well, why do you like them? I'm like, because the nanny likes them. Oh, well, if the nanny likes them, all right, good. So I put this prominent St. Louisan in touch with Michael's Baths, and the prominent St. Louisan said, look, it's the kids' bathroom. I don't want to spend a fortune on it, but the kids are complaining that they want a new bathroom. And so Michael's Baths will take care of it. That's what they do. Michael's Baths, an affordable and quality option for you. You want to redo just the tub? Great. You want to redo the whole thing? You got a wall that doesn't make any sense over there? Yeah, absolutely. Michael's Baths can do all of it. He's been doing it for 30 years. They've got a great reputation. They've got great history, great work ethic, quality craftsmanship, and they'll do it 30 to 50% less than everybody else in town. And if you act now, operators are standing by, $500 off a bathroom remodel, or you can get a free shower door as an extra incentive to give them a call. Michael's Baths. Home, Nanny loves them, and now a prominent St. Louisan, also a big fan of Michael's Baths. I got to get around to it. I got a bathroom that they got to get to as well. So I will be calling in the somewhat near future. 636-775-0800. Michael's Baths or michaelsbaths.com.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today. Big news, St. Louis. When it comes to selling your home fast, for cash, and as is, the community has spoken. Robank Properties LLC has just been voted Best of the West by the readers of the West News. Why? Because at Robank Properties, we keep it simple. No repairs, no cleanup, no showings, no waiting on banks, just a fair cash offer fast. Inherited a property? Facing a move? Tired of being a landlord? Or just ready for a hassle-free sale? Robank Properties is your trusted local buyer. Committed to honesty, transparency, and making the process painless from start to finish. And now, thanks to you, we're officially best of the West. So if you're thinking about selling, call the team your neighbors voted #1, Robank Properties LLC, cash buyers of homes as is. Visit us online or call today for your no-obligation cash offer at robankproperties.com or call Mike at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Robank Properties LLC, we make selling simple.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Blues fans, it's Peanuts Night at Enterprise Center. On December 17th, the St. Louis Blues face off against the Winnipeg Jets. And with a special theme ticket purchase, you'll take home an exclusive bobblehead featuring Snoopy driving a Zamboni and Woodstock along for the ride. It's the perfect collectible for hockey and Peanuts fans alike, celebrating Snoopy's winter spirits and love for the game. Don't miss a night of hockey, nostalgia, and fun for the whole family. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Let's talk about legacy. Yingling, 196 years of brewing. So meet the next generation of light beer. Flight, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Flight is crisp, clean, and actually tastes like beer. It's time to level up, St. Louis. Flight from Yingling.
Let's talk about a getaway where you're not spending all the time on the road. How about Innsbruck? Think about it. You could go from your desk to a canoe and do some fishing in about 25-30 minutes. They've got A-frames, they got tree houses, or if you're looking for a place to live that's away from hustle and bustle, custom homes and condos as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. Have you been out? Have you looked? Go to Innsbruck-resort.com to find your getaway.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Through the magic of radio, let's head out to the Washington Elizabeth exit on Highway 270 and check in with the Londoff crew. Who do I got on the phone this morning?
McGraw, you got JL3 here to lead off and a whole cast of characters.
So set the scene for us, JL3. What's going on up there?
Getting the day underway. Service is already busy. Gearing up for another big weekend. Potentially cold, but busy weekend. And just marching towards the end of the year.
All right.
The temperatures might be cold, but the deals are super hot.
That's
Johnny
what I'm...
Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex, right, Jimmy Sappho?
Yes, sir. Everything's hot up here at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We're rolling.
You kidding me? Huh? How are we doing on the pre-owned department there, Mr. Rick Backoff? How's everything going?
We're doing great. We have a great week of purchasing vehicles, but we've also taken some real nice trade-ins. I wanted to tell you about a couple of them. We have a 19 Chevy Sonic LT with only 22,000 miles. And that's going to be on sale for $13,992.
Oh my God!
And then we took a 14 Dodge Challenger. It's an RT, so it's got the Hemi in it with 48,000 miles, and we have that for $20,990.
Oh, those are crazy low prices. That's Cedric Montgomery. Great job, Rick.
Thank you, sir.
And Cedric Montgomery, financing. The Fed cut interest rates. Finally, again, huh? How about that?
Finally, and that means good rates for all our customers. So that's here at the Chevy store and also the Autoplex. Rick gave you a couple of good used cars. We will finance those cars for you. Give us the opportunity, like we always ask. We got over 100 years of experience of getting people approved here in the St. Louis, Florissant area, and we're going to keep doing it. So we're ready to rock and roll. Finance is hot, sir. We're ready to go.
There you go. There you go. Sarah Hall, how are you doing this morning? How's everything in the Business Development Center?
Great.
developing business?
Yeah, developing business. You can shop from home, and we can give you your online deals, and then you can just shop, and we do the shopping for you and set everything up before you walk in.
And that's amazing, isn't it? So easy. It's just we make it as simple and obviously fun as possible, don't we, John?
Absolutely, sir. That's why we're here.
Hey, let me ask you this question. You guys seem a little, not as energetic this week as normal. Was the Johnny Londoff Christmas party last night? Did you guys stay up late last night?
No. We have the big Johnny Londoff potluck luncheon on the 22nd of December, and you are more than welcome to come and join us. Okay, we just ask that you wear like a festive, sweater, Christmas sweater, something very Christmas-like. Okay?
I will raid Mark Moser's closet, and I'll be up there with a nice festive sweater on. No question about that.
What do you mean you can't feel any energy? Come on. Yeah, that might be coming from you, not us. I've been listening all morning, and my God, I think there are other topics we can talk about than some of the topics, but that's okay.
Right.
You got us now.
All right.
And we're kind of
Fair
hey,
enough.
Gene Staten, how you doing?
Great.
Unbelievable. Huh? Pete, Louisiana, Thibodeau, how you doing, buddy?
Awesome.
Come on.
I don't get any better.
Give me Sappho again. Let this guy know.
I'm ready. Hey, you know what the hottest thing on the market is right now? Pre-owned EV Blazers. We're selling them like crazy. We've sold more pre-owned ones than we did new ones when the new ones came out. You can buy them for half of what they listed for new. They listed for $60,000. We're selling them for less than $30,000 with miles like 1,000 miles on them, less than 1,000 miles. These are the hottest thing on the market right now. We sold one just yesterday out at the Autoplex. So come get them while we got them. We got a great selection of them, and you can save big money and not have to go to the gas station and buy that donut at Quick Trip that you really don't need.
Or the hot dog. Yeah.
Well, no, you have to buy the hot dog, but that's a whole other issue. This sounds like it's a pretty sweet deal. Those Blazers are nice. Make them EV. You don't have to worry about the price of the pump. That's a pretty sweet deal. All right. We'll end it with you, JL3. Is everything that's on the lot either at the Washington Elizabeth exit or at the Autoplex, is it online at Londoff.com?
It is online at Londoff.com 24/7, sir.
Beautiful.
LondoffAutoplex.com for all the deals at the Autoplex, right, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
And then don't forget about the service department. 2 great locations, 1 great family, Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Guys, get back to work. Gals, get back to work. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks, McGraw.
Have a great weekend. Come and see us, everyone.
There you go. And the potluck on the 22nd. 8:31 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no major issues on the roads right now. In the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with 1 lane down. And 270 North is running without delays from South County into Town and Country. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Plan your holiday party at the Rack House or stop by for brunch or happy hour. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Lordo's Diamonds is a big supporter of traffic and weather. Weather today is going to be, we dodged a bullet here. High today of 37. It's going to be overcast, but the winds are going to be at bay. Overnight tonight, low of 26. Tomorrow, we've got a high of 28. Sunday, sunny, but a high of 15. It's 32 right now at 8:32. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A senior Kremlin official says Russian police and the National Guard will remain in eastern Ukraine's Donbas even if a peace settlement ends the war. This stance is likely to be rejected by Kyiv. The Senate has rejected legislation to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits, essentially guaranteeing that millions of Americans will see a steep rise in costs at the beginning of the year. Senators on Thursday rejected a Democratic bill to extend the subsidies for 3 years and a Republican alternative that would have created new health savings accounts. In local headlines, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen is expected to address several key bills at today's meeting. This includes Board Bill 100, reauthorizing the city's earnings tax. And a Melville School District teacher is being recognized for her performance in the classroom. Julie Dorsum, a social studies teacher at Bernard Middle School, has been presented with the Melville School District's Emerson Excellence in Teaching Award. 32 degrees. Time now is 8:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Is that me? Can I do this?
Please do.
All right. It's Toys for Tots today here at the Big 550 KTRS. Here's what you want to do. Bring a new unwrapped toy out to Westport. Maybe a good time to grab some lunch out here. Come out and see the new redesigned Westport. It's killing it out here. Come out and check out the Rawlings experience. Check out the new glove on top of the roof. Yeah, that's right. There's a glove on top of the roof. Basso, you got the soda fountain. You've got Trainwreck. I know I'm messing some restaurants. And bring a new unwrapped toy. Come on out, because we'll be here all day today raising awareness and collecting toys for Tots. And then we'll make sure they get into the hands of a needy kid this holiday season. It's all about needy kids, and it's all about giving back to the community, and that's where Ronald McDonald House comes in. Ronald McDonald House, it's a wonderful, wonderful charity and a wonderful organization. However, a lot of people don't know what the Ronald McDonald House does, and it's very simply a home away from home. And when a family has to deal with the devastating news of a child who has to go to the hospital, they have to go, and they have to go now. And they're going to move heaven and earth to make sure that child is taken care of, right? Well, that means traveling, 15, 20, 60, 70, 80, 100 miles, 200 miles away from home. They have to have a place to stay. They have to have a place to work. They have to have a place to collapse, to talk to the doctors, to deal with the insurance, to handle the other kids, right? That's the Ronald McDonald House. It's a home away from home for families who are here in St. Louis dealing with a sick child. Can't get any better than that. Ronald McDonald House last year helped over 500 families. The average stay is 30 days. 75% of the people come from the St. Louis metropolitan area. Many of them have infants. Imagine. That's why the Ronald McDonald House is such a great place, because it's a place to go for these families. If you would like to donate or find out more, rmhcstl.com. rmhcstl.com.
It's the ultimate Cardinals weekend. The 29th winter warm-up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. Experience 2 days of non-stop Cardinals excitement, from clubhouse tours and Hall of Fame and museum access to autographs, auctions, memorabilia, and more. Join the fun. Meet your favorite players and support Cardinals Care, helping kids across the community. Admission tickets are on sale now. Visit cardinals.com/WWU to be part of the action.
Lust Jewelers, the small personal jeweler with a big heart, has been pleasing their customers with perfect holiday gifts for over a century. And now through December 23rd, for every $100 you spend, you get a $20 gift certificate valid for use in 2026. Lust's fully committed staff always provides a superior shopping experience and the best service long after your purchase is made. Lust Jewelers is at 12022 Manchester Road, about a mile east of 270. Go to blustjewelers.com. Christmas, St. Louis, and Blust Jewelers.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Dogtown! Dogtown pizza, that is. Stuff your stockings this year with one of 13 festive flavors. You know, 4 meat and sausage, hot chicken and bacon. But do you recall my most favorite flavor of all? Pepperoni peppercini. So let's all conspire as we eat by the fire. We'll frolic and play the Dogtown way. Make this holiday season a Dogtown wonderland. Happy holidays and Merry Dogtown!
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Freerks, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
When it comes to AI, there's something big happening. The smallest things are creating giant revolutions. At Worldwide Technology, we're at the forefront of AI. With our one-of-a-kind AI Proving Ground, Cyber Range, and full-stack approach, you can build, test, protect, and implement AI solutions that deliver for you and your customers in a big way. Worldwide Technology, to Together, let's make a new world happen.
Experience the magic of the holidays as a cherished tradition returns to Powell Hall. The St. Louis Symphony Orchestra presents Mercy Holiday Celebration, a festive performance that promises to fill the air with cheer. From the joyous sounds of sleigh bells to exciting twists on timeless classics, this concert featuring St. Louis native Kennedy Holmes and the SLSO Symphony Chorus brings the season to life in a way that only the SLSO can. December 20th through the 23rd. Tickets at slso.org.
Hi, Richard West with Overstock Outlet, wishing you and your family a happy holiday season. Visit us at Overstock Outlet. We're the best random store around where you never know what we'll have. We stock shelves daily with name brand products from major box stores. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest inventory. From all of us at Overstock Outlet, we hope you have a blessed Christmas season.
Visit Overstock Outlet in Lake St. Louis at 8621 State Route N or in Warrenton at 604 East Boones Lick Road and have a happy holiday season.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive, broadcasting live from the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, Lordos Diamonds, and Neighbors Credit Union.
Well, she looks like Paula Anderson, but she's acting like Mrs. Claus. You should have seen her today. She brought two big, giant handfuls walking down the atrium out here at Westport, dropping off toys for the toy drive here. Paula Anderson from Neighbors Credit Union. Welcome back, my friend.
Good morning. Happy holidays.
You got a good heart. You know that?
Well,
yeah.
I try.
I know.
I try.
Talking a little holiday spirit. It's the toy drive here at the Big 550 KTRS, and Neighbors Credit Union is always first. Anytime we're doing something with the kids or giving back or toys or somehow making life a little bit easier for those, you guys are always front and center, so we always appreciate that.
Thank you.
Doing anything special for the holidays?
No, I'm in town.
Yeah.
I just got back from Seattle.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, you got a sister up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's talk Neighbors Credit Union, because we've been talking for a while now, looking for a gift that is meaningful, looking for a gift that will not end up in a landfill in 3 weeks.
Right.
A smart account for that little one in your life.
Yeah, it's a great gift.
Yeah.
Great gift.
Yeah,
You
talk
know.
about how it works.
Well, so for children and youth and teens and young adults, all the way up to age 22, we have a smart savings account that pays 10% APY on the first $1,000 in the balances.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a great way. They can really see the efforts of savings, at that good of a APY. And it's just a great way to help them save. As they get a little older, they can open a checking account when they're in middle school at age 13, get a debit card. You can do some controls on that through the app. When they turn 16, 18, we do first-time car buyers, and then we also have a first-time credit card. So, we just try to help you help your children, the young savers, the young kids in your life, get there, because it's hard.
Yeah, and it's one thing to tell a kid, hey, here's $50, and if you keep it in the bank, it'll grow to $60. But it's another thing to give them $50 and then say, now you have $60.
Right.
When it's their own and they can touch it and feel it and see it, it's much more ownership and it's much more real for them.
Right. And as they get older, a lot of kids, they all have devices now. So it's good also to say, here's the app. This is how you check. Okay, you went to Quick Trip and you got yourself a Slurpee.
Right.
Okay, now you see that money came out, because, cash is not as prevalent as we all have it anymore. It's the debit card.
Yeah, that's a great point, too. And also, okay, great. Do you want that extra stuffed animal? Okay, well, I'm going to take $10 out of your account. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want that. So hold on a second. Wait a minute here. There's a cost benefit analysis to all of this.
Right.
Yeah. Debit all day accounts are relatively new at Neighbors Credit Union. How are those things going?
They're going really well.
Yeah.
They're going really well.
Talk about those for a second.
It's a fee-free checking account. So you can't go negative.
Right.
It doesn't. It's just a debit card. You can debit all day. You can just
debit all day, and you can't go negative. That's the kind of account I need, where you can't go negative. That's a sweet deal. Sign up online, or do you have to go into any one of the locations?
No, you can open any of these accounts online at neighborscu.org. You can go into the branches if you like to.
Yeah.
But
branches have had a full remodel in many of them, so they're sort of updated for the 21st century. It's always nice. You got a nice little warming drawer and coffee for everybody. It's a nice little deal all the way around, right? Paula Anderson from Neighbors Credit Union, 8 area locations, neighborscu.org, neighborscu.org. Thanks for swinging by.
You bet.
You got it. Paula Anderson, 843 here, Big 550, KTRS. Once again, Captain Paul in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, not much going on the roads right now. In the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, we have road work causing a slowdown on 64 East between US 50 and Illinois 158 with one lane closed. And in Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight tonight for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
The snow chances are a little higher as you head more east and northeast of the metro area. That's where temperatures are below freezing. We rise into the upper 30s under cloudy skies. And then on Saturday, as there's another chance of some light snow. And while the accumulations at this point look minimal, anything that falls could stick due to the cold ground. I'm your meteorologist, Leah Hill, with your first alert forecast for the Big 550 KTRS.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green online at jewelsonhampton.com.
This holiday season, I feel like Manchester Road, just west of 141, is just one of the fantastic spots in St. Louis you need to be. Marketplace at the Abbey has everything to make your home feel like Santa's workshop. All kinds of wonderful gifts for people. Also, there's the Abbey Baby and then the Abbey's ladies' clothing section. So many gift ideas, so many wonderful things that have already been curated by Laura Wilson, the owner. You can always go online too, marketplaceattheabbey.com. Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm-fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
I mean, there is hope for humanity if our next guest and I can remain friends. A diehard Mizzou fan and a diehard Husker fan. Still friends after all these years. Greg Blanke, of course, runs Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. Good to have you, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Let's talk Boardwalk Hardwood Floors first. How are things going over there?
They're going great.
How many years?
28.
28
so
years.
You and I have known each other, I think,
almost
27,
years.
28 years.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
in the first year.
You're getting old around here. All right.
And no hair.
So go back 28 years. How did you come up with this idea? Well, tell me about this.
That's a great question. So I was living in Denver, Colorado. I was Bruce Hardwood Floors rep covering Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming. And I was 28 years old when I started Boardwalk. So I was out there and I'm like, I want to try to work for myself.
Right.
So somehow I talked Union Planters Bank at the time into giving me a loan.
Right.
So they gave me a line of credit and they gave me a purchasing loan for purchasing product and stuff like that.
Right.
And I opened the Manchester store, which we're still there today.
Right.
And bought a pickup truck.
Manchester and Barrie, kind of?
Manchester 141.
Okay.
Yeah, across from the old Enterprise, I think Enterprise Leasing.
Okay.
Right across from the Manchester ball fields.
Yeah.
So I bought a pickup truck. I'd sell floors all day long, and then I would load the pickup truck at the end of the day and then go deliver floors, and I'd roll in at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
You moved from Denver, moved back to St. Louis.
Yes.
And then started your first store. The concept is interesting because you sell the hardwood flooring.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
You sell the hardwood flooring, and you have connections with installers.
Yes.
You don't make a penny off the installers.
Not at all.
You just want good quality installers that you can then refer to your customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of those installers that we've referred out for one up to 28 years since the day we've opened, but the other ones have been 10, 15 years.
Yeah. And they know to take care of Boardwalk Hardwood Floors
exactly
customers.
Right. Because if they don't, then they're off the list and they get a lot of business off that being on our list.
Yeah.
So it actually works out better because the customer gets labor at cost because we're not marking it up. And then if there's a problem, inevitably the customer's going to call us and say, hey, this guy's not calling me back.
Right.
So we'll call the installer and say, will you go please help out Mrs. Jones? And
right.
They do, and then everybody's happy.
Then you're off and running. It's actually a brilliant model when you think about it.
Yeah, it works really, really well.
Yeah. And then every once in a while you get a crazy person like me who says, I can do it myself, and you're there to help with everything you need to help install it yourself.
Yeah. So we'll teach you how to do it. We'll rent the equipment to do it. If you run into an issue while you're putting the floor down, with iPhones and iPads, people take pictures, send us pictures and say, hey, we have this challenge.
Yeah.
In 28 years, you can't present us an issue that we haven't seen before. So we'll usually get you through that challenge.
Right. Yeah.
But honestly, the people that put the floors in themselves are happier than people that have floors installed because they can pick and choose where boards are going to go.
Yeah.
There's the satisfaction of doing the project and finishing it and then standing on it every day going, I did this myself.
Yeah, I've done it both ways, as you know, and you're right. Putting it down is a little bit harder, a little bit longer, a little backbreaking, right? Your knees and back's a little sore at the end of the day, but when you're finished, it looks more beautiful than paying the person to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you got the money left to go buy furniture or whatever. Brand new TV.
To buy more hardwood.
There you go. Right.
Let's talk about your prices because, so you only sell the wood, but you sell it at such a deep discounted price. Again, part of this model that has sustained you for 25 years.
Yeah, so we have direct relationships with manufacturers. Honestly, some of our manufacturers, we're their largest customer in the U.S. We buy that much material.
Oh, wow.
So we've received awards from vendors that were top U.S. customer. So we buy in truckload. That gives us a tremendous amount of savings, and then we just pass that along to the customer.
Again, if you're their biggest customer, they want to make you happy. They're going to give you the best price possible.
Yeah. And if we need to get competitive on a price, I can pick the phone up and call the vendor and say, hey, I need to do a little bit better on this pricing, and they're more than happy to give us a better deal.
Selection is, I've said this since the first time I walked into one of your stores. It's almost overwhelming.
Yes.
How many options and styles and designs?
It is. There's tens of thousands of different options. But our staff does a really good job at asking qualifying questions about lifestyle, kids, pets. So we can narrow that field of 10,000 products down to 50 within 5 or 6
Because the hardwood floor you put in the upstairs bedroom is different than the hardwood floors you put in the basement.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got engineered floors that can go in basement. We sell vinyl and laminate and all the other types of products too. So it just depends upon the application and the area in the house.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a great story. 25 years going strong. Selection, style, design, colors, customer service, installing. You need hardwood floors, Boardwalk hardwood floors. Oh, and a new unwrapped toy to any one of the 4 locations?
Yeah, so all locations have Toys for Tot boxes, so come on in and fill them up, and then we'll get them going.
I was working with a guy named Justin, but you have like 6 Justins working for you, so I don't remember which one I was
Justin
talking about.
Justin 1 and Justin 2.
4 locations, Mid-Rivers Mall Drive out in St. Charles, or St. Peter's.
Yep.
The one on 170, that's the design store, I guess.
Design Center, so that's 170 in Olive.
Yeah, and then one off Watson.
Watson and Grant Road in Crestwood.
And then the one on Manchester. Yeah.
141,
Do you do stuff online? Do you send stuff to out of the state, out of the area?
We do. We probably get 10 inquiries a day of people out of state that are looking for products. So we've shipped flooring to Alaska.
Right.
We ship all over the place.
So your prices are so good, it's cheaper for Alaska to buy from you and ship it up to Alaska than just buy it in Alaska.
Right, exactly. Or if somebody's looking for something in particular, because we can get things that other people can't. I mean, I was at a design function last night, and I told a designer, I'm like, if you get into a situation where you look at a floor and you say, oh, we can't replicate that, call me first, because we can probably replicate that.
You need hardwood floors. You need Greg Blanke from Boardwalk Hardwood at boardwalkhardwood.com. Merry Christmas. Good stuff.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Oh, shout out to your Morelli tuck pointing there at my house
today. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the referral there.
Right, couldn't be any easier.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, good stuff. Love it. 8:56 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Koski, take it away. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. 64 East is running slow between US 50 and Illinois 158 in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, with 1 lane down for road work. And in Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight tonight for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yenzer Family Dental has been located in Chesterfield for over 2 decades at the corner of Chesterfield Airport and Long Road in the Chesterfield Valley. Dr. Yenzer has been treating patients for the past 21 years and now welcomes Dr. Andrea Monstero to Yenzer Family Dental. Both doctors, along with the amazing staff, are dedicated to your care and oral health. The entire staff is committed to making your dental care and treatment a safe and successful experience. From the moment you walk in the door, you are treated and welcomed by a friendly and knowledgeable staff and receive care with some of the most advanced dental technology available today. Our goal is to add peace of mind to the friendliness and clinical excellence you can expect from Yenzer Family Dental. Give them a call today at 636-778-3019. They would love to see you soon and will never underestimate the power of a smile. Yenzer Family Dental, 636-778-3019 or yenzerdental.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newsetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Water rescues, evacuations, and power outages. Part of what's been happening in Washington state as the rain from an atmospheric river pounds the Pacific Northwest. ABC's Trevor Ault is in Snohomish, Washington.
Eastside Fire and Rescue crew saving 2 drivers using a Navy chopper, one of them clinging onto a tree. 68-year-old William Elliott was rescued by fire officials after he had to evacuate his flooded home.
That's one of the hardest things I've had to do. Just pack a couple of backpacks and not knowing what you're going to find when you get back.
The Coast Guard rescued 4 people after rising waters forced the family into their attic and out onto the roof.
10,000 power outages. Kilmore Abrego Garcia showing up and then leaving a scheduled appointment with Immigration and Customs Enforcement without being detained.
You know, he's walking out the door and he's heading back to Prince George's County to be with his family, with his child, with his wife, who are waiting there for him. Everyone is extremely happy about this.
That's his lawyer, Simon Sandoval Moshberg. On Thursday, a judge ordered that the man wrongly deported by the Trump White House be released from detention in Pennsylvania. The same judge issuing a temporary restraining order today, barring ICE officials from detaining him in Baltimore when he showed up for his hearing. Tensions rising in the Caribbean since the U.S. seized that oil tanker off Venezuela. ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
The administration now sanctioning 6 additional tankers they say are carrying Venezuelan oil, in addition to sanctioning 3 nephews of Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. Overnight, Maduro firing back, calling the seizure of the tanker kidnapping and robbery, comparing it to something out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Indiana saying no to new congressional maps designed to get more Republicans elected to Congress next year. This is ABC News.
Between all the holiday parties,
Weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
32 degrees at 9:03. The City of St. Louis Department of Human Services and its partners are activating emergency shelters in accordance with Code Blue protocols. This will remain in place through December 17th. Currently, 285 emergency shelter beds are available with a surge capacity up to 345. This is in addition to 400 year-round shelter beds. Additionally, in anticipation of snow on Saturday, the street department will begin pre-treating snow routes this morning. The investigation continues into the massive warehouse fire in downtown St. Louis late last month. Police say they are analyzing debris from the fire and sending it to Washington for forensic review by the ATF. Authorities are still searching for a person believed to have been inside one of the warehouse buildings at the time of the blaze. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin will be making a stop in the Metro East today. The Democratic lawmaker plans to hold a press conference at the Cahokia Heights Health Center at 11 this morning to speak on the Senate Republicans' vote to raise health insurance premiums. And the Regional Business Council, St. Louis University, and the Parkway School District are teaming up to host the Workforce Development Immersive Career Day for high school students. Students will be learning from professionals about career pathways in construction, advanced manufacturing, technology, and first responders. The event will be held next Tuesday on the campus of St. Louis University. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 on the Big 550. The Dow is up 150 points to 48,900. The S&P is down 12 points to 6,900, and the NASDAQ is down 96 points to 23,500. In KTRS Sports, Steven Stamkos scored 4 goals as the Blues were blown out again, 7-2 the final. The Note has been outscored 12-4 in their last 2 games. Mizzou basketball was less than impressive in an 85-77 victory over Alabama State at home. Anthony Robinson did have his best game of the year, though, with 19 points and 5 assists. Bethune-Cookman comes to Columbia to face the Tigers on Sunday, 12:30 p.m., pregame on the Big 550. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads, where you find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
And Rose, not much happening on the roads right now. 64 East is running slow between US 50 and Illinois 158 in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, with 1 lane down for road work. And a construction note, in Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, cloudy skies today with a high of 37. Cloudy skies tonight with an overnight low of 22. Tomorrow, light snow possible and a high of 28. And Sunday, mostly cloudy and much colder with a high of 17. Wind chill values will range in the single digits to below 0. Currently 32 degrees. Time now is 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu. you.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today. Since 1950, Flanagan Paint and Supply is a St. Louis paint company that has been providing the homeowner and professional painters with top-quality products, competitive prices, and to be the leading paint company for architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings. With experts in paints and stains and other custom home products on staff, Flanagan's has your resources to be your one-stop for style. With locations in Ellisville, Webster Groves, St. Peters, Edwardsville, and Wentzville, there's a Flanagan's Paint and Supply near you. Online at FlanaganPaint.com.
Thomas! St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer returns to the Family Arena this Sunday at 3:05 p.m. to battle the Milwaukee Wave and its Superhero and Princess Knight with a promotional t-shirt giveaway.
Down the middle! Spins it in!
Make your plans to catch all the end-to-end action as your ambush battle the Milwaukee Wave. A youth soccer clinic before the game and a post-game autograph session following the game. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, go to STLambush.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Experience the magic of the holidays as a cherished tradition returns to Powell Hall. The St. Louis Symphony Orchestra presents Mercy Holiday Celebration, a festive performance that promises to fill the air with cheer. From the joyous sounds of sleigh bells to exciting twists on timeless classics, this concert featuring St. Louis native Kennedy Holmes and the SLSO Symphony Chorus brings the season to life in a way that only the SLSO can. December 20th through the 23rd. Tickets at slso.org.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive. Broadcasting live from outside the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Woods Basement Systems, Outdoor Living, and Legacy Wealth.
Yippee-yi-yo, galloping all the way, great big star on his chest. Outruns all of the rest, fastest gun in the West. Yippee-yi-yo, riding around your way, here comes quick draw for draw. The highfalutin'est, fastest shootin'est cowboy you ever saw. That's quick draw for draw.
Just got a text message from Kevin Lloyd. Am I going live with you today? Yes, 9:50. So hopefully Kevin Lloyd shows up at 9:50 here on the Big 550 KTRS. We're here outside of KTRS, right outside in the hallway in the atrium to celebrate the 45 years of Hats and Stuff coming down to their end of days. Holy mackerel, it is the end of an institution, Hats and Stuff, 642 Westport Plaza. Also, we're here to raise awareness for the Toys for Tots campaign. New unwrapped toys. KTRS will be outside, out here in the atrium, broadcasting all day long. We are right in front of the Drunken Fish. We're right in front of Kobe. We're right next to the Rawlings Experience. We're upstairs from the Funny Bone. The person who clearly designed Westport had failed their drug test before they went and handed in the designs. But come on out, because Westport's sort of been transformed, if you will. The big giant square in the middle is great. You got Basso, you got Trainwreck, you've got the soda fountain. You can see the giant glove on the top of the rooftop, which now has lights. So when you drive at night, it's a really, really cool. But the engineering feat must have been amazing, because it's like a giant sail on top of the roof, so it catches all the wind. So imagine the engineering feat you had to do to put that on. I don't know if it's got a 50-year warranty on that glove, but I know that if you go to Outdoor Living, they'll put a 50-year warranty on the deck they're going to build for you. Pat Leahy with Outdoor Living. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, McGraw.
Normally you come by and say hi. Is that business is so busy you don't even have time to come by and say hi?
It's been pretty crazy the last 3 or 4 months, and unfortunately there's quite a few things due today, and why not wait till the last minute, you know?
Hey,
like Christmas shopping.
I hear you. I've known you all these years. I don't want you to do things ahead of time. Absolutely. You and I have been friends a long time. I've used Outdoor Living. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm minding my own business in my driveway the other day, and my neighbor comes up to me and he says, "We're going with Outdoor Living, so you're going to be building something in the neighborhood here."
Nice. Yeah, I did hear that. I can't get you to build a new one, but I can get your neighbors. So what the heck?
Well, I got a 5-year-old. There's only so much I can do. You build decks.
She probably acts like she's 15 already.
You build decks. You've been building decks a long time. Well, I mentioned the 50-year warranty, which is unheard of in the world of building. But you guys are using metal framing. You've talked about it before. The customers have embraced it like no one's business. You were a little leery at the beginning, but the customers sure have embraced it.
Yeah, something we've been really trying to push. We've got some as old as almost 15 years now, and really have just embraced it, taken it on. And I kind of joke. My web people call me. We have a regular monthly meeting, and they said, "I cannot believe in 1 year the amount of knowledge from the end user of understanding there are alternatives out there to wood framing." And it's been a blessing. It really has. It's something that we struggled to just flip the switch on like that, but we did, and it's really been amazing, and we're very happy with the direction Outdoor Living's going and what it's done for us.
I know we had lunch at one point, and you were telling me, you were like, "Hey, I'm thinking about just sort of jumping in with both feet. What do you think?" And it comes down to the customer wants quality, and the customer wants it built right, and you want to build it right, and you want to give them a 50-year warranty, and you don't ever want to see them again.
Well, I don't want to not see him again. I just want to see him on better terms, But no, it has become very important, and I think you as a guy that likes to work with your hands and do some woodworking and things like that, it's really hard to find quality anymore. And I stress that to my carpenters and my employees day in and day out that, if we don't get this job because we're too high or this or that, it disappoints me. But at the end of the day, want to give the customer the best job that we can and just, make them a happy customer for years to come.
Yeah, the showroom is where it all starts. The showroom, you guys put a lot of resources into it, a lot of time into it. When you walk into the Outdoor Living showroom, then it starts making sense. Then you can start to sort of visualize and see, I can wrap it in this color. I can use this railing. I can put a gazebo over here. That showroom is so vital, I think, to people understanding what's possible.
It really works in our favor, and I might put my foot in my mouth here, but it may get a total reno this winter, and just get the newest, greatest, best things and start from scratch. It's been a showroom we've used and loved to use for many years, and it's just the frame underneath is an old wood frame, and it's time to get changed to steel.
Holy mackerel. That's going to be an undertaking.
Yeah.
Real quick, you mentioned the steel. You bought it's American-made steel, and you bought it, and you trucked it up here, so you've got plenty of materials, correct?
Yeah, we're loaded, and actually that's one of the other things. Probably one more truck for 2026. There's some price increases coming for 2026, which we all know all about, unfortunately. And it's that time of the year where a lot of vendors like to change their prices and things like that. But, we really do. We've got a great supply. We're really in a good position, and I've really tried to keep up on that because, you don't want the expected slap in the face of these price increases. And when your schedule's out a little bit, it hurts to have a price increase in the middle when you've got 3 more months till you build a project for somebody. So we just try to keep up on it, and we've done a good job. And, the new black's really taken off and on the color of the frame, and people are really taking a liking to it. But we still have gray, and some people don't really care what it looks like underneath. They just want it to last.
Yeah. How's the new dog?
Man, she's curled up like a little bundle of joy right underneath my desk. She's been awesome. Yeah, really. We moved about 6 weeks ago too, and she's got a little bit of land to play on, and she is just loving life, chasing deer every day.
There you go. Pat Leahy, the owner of Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. You're a good man. You're a great dad. You're a good family man, and you've been a dear friend all these years. Thanks for being a big supporter of Toys for Tots. Thank you for everything. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, my friend.
Yeah, buddy. Happy holidays. All right.
Happy holidays. There you go. Right, Pat Leahy with Outdoor Living, one of the good ones. And you want quality, you want it done right. Imagine that, a 50-year warranty on a deck. Years ago, that's unheard of with the heat and the humidity and the mold and everything else here in St. Louis, right? That sun beats on that wood deck and it warps and it gets completely twisted. And, 5, 6, 7 years, you're going to have to redo it. What a nightmare. Outdoor Living, it's all metal framing. Do it right. You don't have to worry about it ever again. You might pay a little more, but right when it's all said and done, you just don't have to worry about it. It's well worth it. Find out more, OutdoorLivingInc.com. And, of course, local, so they're give back to the community in so many different ways. Hey, stay right there. We got lots more to get to. Randy Carricker is going to swing by. Kevin Lloyd said he'd stop by. And all you have to do is bring a new unwrapped toy out to Westport. Come on by, say hi. Maybe we'll get Andy from Hats and Stuff to come over and say a little, give a little goodbye. Joe Davis running the engineering here. And so far, no mistakes. What's going on? You were here on time, no mistakes? It's all good.
I was here early.
God love you. All right. Did you go to the Christmas party last night?
I did go to the Christmas party last night.
Yeah. How late did you stay? 3, 4 in the morning?
About 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not too bad, yeah.
How was the food?
Bacon wrapped shrimp was delicious.
Right? The food over there is great.
Really good food.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Stay right there. It's the Toys for Tots here on the Big 550 KTRS. Oh, wait. Let me do this. Oh, no. Let's go to Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Closet.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. 64 East is running slow between US 50 and Illinois 158 in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, with 1 lane down for road work. And a construction note, in Jefferson County, MoDOT will close the Route A ramp to 55 North overnight tonight for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Lion's Choice, where you can enjoy a quick and delicious meal, but make it healthy with plenty of low-cal, low-carb, vegetarian, and gluten-free options. There's something to satisfy everyone on the Lion's Choice menu. Stop by today. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, let's talk about Country Club Car Wash. Country Club Car Wash has 5 area locations, and you're looking for a gift for the stockings, a gift for somebody at work, maybe an exchange gift program. Listen to this. Buy 5 car washes at Country Club Car Wash and get the 5, and then you get 5 more. So you buy 5, you get 10 in total. Available in-store at any one of the 5 Country Club Car Washes or online at CCCWSTL.com. They're all attached to Mobile on the Run. They're out in St. Charles as well as Chesterfield Airport Road, and they're longer. Many of them are conveyor belts. You can get the inside and the outside depending on which one you go to. It's a great way to give a great gift because it's going to get cold and rainy and the snow and the salt and everything else. The beet juice sticks to the car. It gets all nasty. And a great way to sort of give a gift that people don't normally give. That's a car wash. Buy 5, get 5 more free. So a total of 10. Buy 5, get 10. Country Club Car Wash. In store or CCCWSTL.com.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Royal Banks of Missouri is proudly reinvesting in its hometown of University City. Their new branch at 8550 Olive Boulevard is now open to serve you. Visit their team in University City to discover how they can help you refresh your finances and invest in your future today. Call 314-212-1500 or go to royalbanksofmo.com for more information. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there's so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quantity time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
When it comes to AI, there's something big happening. The smallest things are creating giant revolutions. At Worldwide Technology, we're at the forefront of AI. With our one-of-a-kind AI proving ground, cyber range, and full-stack approach, you can build, test, protect, and implement AI solutions that deliver for you and your customers in a big way. Worldwide Technology. Together, let's make a new world happen.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's the Toys for Tots campaign here at the Big 550 KTRS. This is our official sort of swan song for Toys for Tots. Your last chance to come by KTRS, pick up a new or drop off a new unwrapped toy. And it's also a bit of an era here because our next guest, Andy Shifter, who runs Hats and Stuff. I don't know if you know this, but I met you, shoot, it must have been 20 years ago, 22, 23 years ago at one of the Cardinal Winter Warm-Ups.
Winter warm-up, absolutely.
Yeah, I was walking by and you said, "Hey, McGraw." I was like, "Hey, who's this clown?" And I ended up buying something. Like, these prices are insane. I was like, "This is like Crazy Eddie." And you're like, "I'm from New York. I'm from New York." And so that's how we met. And then all these years later, you opened up Hats and Stuff next to KTRS. Yeah. But you're calling it a day.
We're calling it a day. We're going to retire from a 7-day-a-week brick and mortar store after 30 years.
Yeah.
And then I was with 20 years with Fashion Gal stores before that. So it's 50 years in retail, and I'm just going to back that down, and we'll just be going to the Soulard Farmers Market only on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And that's a 1-day-a-week gig that I can handle.
Anything online?
And online as well.
Online.
So we'll maintain the online as well as Soulard.
So we were talking about this yesterday. You came up or something, and there's a lot of that they call it the silver tsunami. You have such a unique business. You are the business, right? Because you're the buyer. You know you have the expertise. You know how to buy right.
Correct.
You walk into Hats and Stuff. You've got insane prices.
Correct.
And beautiful, really, really good stuff. I mean, Chiefs jerseys and Mitchell and Hess stuff, and you never had Namath jerseys, so that was always a bone of contention. But nobody wanted it. You couldn't sell it. You couldn't keep it going. You didn't want to.
It's a model that is probably running its course because the cost of doing business, the cost of buying product to offer the great prices that we've had over the years has really been hit hard with tariffs to a degree, but just the cost of everything going up, that I would have to then raise my prices, and that takes me out of my model. People know me for having unbelievable prices on unbelievable products, and then just the manufacturers are producing less, so there's less opportunities for me to buy off price, and so on and so on. So that it's just a time for for that to start to back down. It's been a fantastic business. We raised a lot of money for charity because that was part of my model for 20 years, going to corporations, setting up, and then they would get a percent for their charity. And all of that was fantastic. We'll still be able to find deals so that I can maintain my Soulard thing. I just won't have to buy as much to do that.
I know you also struggled for years and years and years trying to find employees.
That's correct. That's the biggest part. My model runs itself. My business can run itself, except for I need people to run it when I'm not there. I'm finding that I'm pretty much there 7 days a week, and whether even if I'm not physically there, I'm mentally there. So it's just the hardest part is getting people to work at a price that I can afford to pay them, and to stay on. It's just again, that's a big part. And you'll ask any business, whether it's restaurant or service or anything, the hardest part of their business isn't their business. If they didn't do that well, they wouldn't be in business.
Right.
It's having people to be there to run it and maintain it at the level that I would want.
Well, it's a mom and pop shop like you, or Worldwide Technology, or you name it. St. Louis Cardinals, right? They're having a hard time finding quality employees.
It's really tough, and the world's just evolved. And it's sometimes you just say, okay, the message is clear. It's time to back it down, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. Is it true that the St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup championship gave your daughter a beautiful wedding?
It gave my daughter a beautiful wedding. I put a little bit of ink on my arm, which I never in my life thought I'd ever have. And I bought myself a little Sunday car with it.
Right.
And but quite honestly, the Blues winning the Cup and the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl that year and the Battlehawks starting up was the only way that I survived in this business through COVID, because we were closed for 5 months, and then basically the 5-6 months after that, all the restaurants around here could only operate at 20%, which meant they had 4 tables, which meant nobody's really coming in.
Right.
So for that first year afterwards, had the Blues not won the Cup, I probably would not have been in business because it paid for all of my inventory, and it afforded me a buffer that got me through the following year, and then we all adjusted to the new norm.
Yeah.
And now we're continuing on until it's
People just don't understand the plight of the small businessman. I mean, you guys live and die you guys live and die by the weather, by the team wins or loses, by what John Mozeliak drafts. If it turns out good or bad 5 years later. I mean, so many things are out of your control as a small businessman.
Correct. But the good thing about being small is I can adjust on a dime. If something doesn't sell, I can mark it down to below cost just to get rid of it, to then take that money and buy something that will sell. So whereas big companies, they can't do that. They have to get layers and layers of approvals and all that. And I basically never fell in love with my merchandise. If it was good, I bought more of it. If it was bad, I got rid of it and moved on to the next.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
And retail, somebody once said to me that all your profits are in the last 10 shirts, right? The last shirts you sell, right? That's everything's been paid off. And the last of the inventory is where your profits are.
To a degree, that's right. If it's really good, you continue on with that good item.
Right.
And at the end, you're right. You can get rid of it, and you've already made the money, so that's just turning it into cash. And fundamentally, that's what I'm doing right now with my store. Is the prices that we are at are far below my cost, but I'm now turning the product into price, and be able to and move out, and people can enjoy that, and it's working.
So Hats and Stuff goes away.
Yep.
You're still going to be on Soulard on Saturdays.
Correct.
And are you going to have the cowboy hats down in Soulard?
Absolutely.
Cowboy hats are huge for you.
Since one thing that came out of COVID was Yellowstone, and when Yellowstone hit, every group, ethnicity has come up with their versions of Western wear that is fantastic. And it's been 3 years in a row. We sell more cowboy hats than I'm sure than anybody. And so that's going to be something. We're going to still maintain my $10 St. Louis themed tees, and we'll still have a nice chunk of Cardinals, a nice chunk of Blues, and things like that. Just commodities, not this widespread thing.
Outside of the Cardinals,
yes.
What is the best team selling jersey and or paraphernalia?
The Blues has really done very, very well. So when City started their deal 3 years ago, the year before was fantastic in the build up to the first year when they were doing very, very well was fantastic, and then the last 2 years have been struggle, let's just say. So it goes in cycles. I mean, quite honestly, in St. Louis, you think of it, almost every team, including even Mizzou to a degree, has been kind of not so good.
Yeah.
And but yet we still had a fantastic year, and we're going to go out with my head up high.
Andy, don't be a stranger.
I'm not, but I will tell you this. We just got in. That's what I brought in, 3 cases of these Mizzou Pillow Pals. And so if somebody wants to come by and buy a Pillow Pal for $10, these regularly retail for $30, I will give them a Mizzou, an aluminum sticker for them, and then if they put that in the box to contribute to the unwrapped toys, it's a fantastic little item for $10. I'll be happy to do that. So we have 40 of them, and come on by, buy a Pillow Pal.
No Husker stuff. No Husker stuff.
It's in the mail.
All right, thank you, Andy.
Thanks, buddy.
Listen, Zach, get over here. Get your. Zach Binding, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Zach Binding, who was our producer for, 25, 30 years? 30 years, left us. Somebody batted their eyes at him. He's like, got to go, and left us for greener pastures. Good to see you, buddy.
How are you?
Good, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How's everyone doing?
How old's the little one now?
We're almost a year and a half.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Thank goodness he looks like his mom.
Right. We're into lights, Christmas trees, so we're loving this time of year right now. We're getting into saying no as well.
You're gonna get
we're getting a lot. We're starting to get attitude. So he's doing really well though. Yeah.
Have you found Coco Melon?
No, we're into Bluey.
Okay.
Bluey is the big thing.
Okay. Now your lovely wife has dark brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
You have lovely dark brown hair. The kid's got white hair. What's going on?
He's
here?
very blonde, but that's how I was. I was super blonde, and then eventually just started to fade to brunette.
Right,
so.
All right. You left us for a job at Worldwide Technology.
I did. Yeah, we took the day off today. I knew the toy drive was going on, so wanted to stop by, drop some toys off, and then rumor is that Santa is at the mall today.
Oh.
Came down from the North Pole, so we're going to stop by there and say hi to Santa, and then we're Christmas shopping today.
All right. Are you one of those that prefers the crying kid Santa pictures?
I don't know. I'm gonna feel kind of bad if he just starts bawling. So we're gonna see how we do, and then go from there.
Right.
So
how's the new job for real?
It's good. It's good. I'm doing some project managing on the cybersecurity side. So I'm not actually doing the cybersecurity.
I thought you were doing movies or something.
I kind of did a little transition and a change. Okay. So it's going really well though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't miss getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
So, but it's good. But
you don't miss talking about January futures on winter wheat.
So that I do. Yeah, it's good though. Working from home, so it's going really well. So I'm liking it.
Yeah. You know, I haven't heard from you. You'd never thank me for my new gig in the evenings.
So I was going to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the full story.
Yeah.
Because I know you are the new Rich Valdez, correct?
It's the Rich Valdez.
Sorry, Rich
but
Valdez.
It's more the new Larry King and the new Jimbo Hannon.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing that from home?
From home, yeah.
Okay.
They built a studio in my basement.
Okay. And so, because I remember you used to say how you used to like, if you did an extra hour, it's like, man, that's a lot of broadcast time.
Right.
Now you're doing what, like 8 hours a day?
Three more hours. 3 more hours from
so
8 to 11.
7 hours a day.
Which really I could do an easy 10. I mean, I think people need to hear me 10 hours a day. It's a different. Well, first of all, look, everyone's asked me this. I couldn't say no.
Okay.
It was a show I listened to in junior high.
Yeah.
So it's if I couldn't pitch for the Mets, this was the next best thing. Okay, and we all know how my baseball career ended.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I couldn't say no. So they said we'll do whatever we can to make it work. KTRS said we'll do whatever we can to make it work. I said, build me a studio in the basement. I have a couple of good producers, nowhere near as good as you guys. But it's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm done at 10. I have all day to take a nap and take care of Emerson and put her to bed and dinner and everything. Mm-hmm. And then at 8 o'clock, I go down to the basement, do the show. Done at 11.
Yeah, I'll say, how's getting up, though, in the morning to come here?
It's okay. It's I have to get a nap in the middle of the afternoon.
When you go up 3 octaves, that's not convincing.
It's really good. It's the second weekend. Talk to me in June or July to see how it's going.
Okay.
But knock on wood, it's been fun. I'm not going to lie. When I'm done with the show, I get off and I'm like, it's not all bad being on 260 radio stations around the country.
How's Emerson doing?
She's good. She's 5. She's 5, and the other day we were painting, and
you let a 5-year-old paint?
Oh, well, so she's painting, and it's all over the place, right? It's outside the lines,
Okay,
and it's this and that, and I'm like, will you try and keep it within the lines? And she looks at me with a straight face and says, why? Jackson Pollock didn't keep it in the lines.
How does she know who Jackson Pollock is?
No idea.
That education's paying off. Look at that.
I had to look it up. I'm like, Jackson Pollock. Who is Jackson Pollock?
That's awesome.
All right, we'll let you go. Thanks for stopping off, my friend. Good to see you.
wait,
Don't be a stranger.
give him his
Hey,
dollar.
buddy, how are you?
Look at William. What a cutie. Oh,
McGraw,
my
give him
goodness.
his dollar.
What a cutie.
I will say I'm glad we're in the walking stages. I didn't like the crawling.
Yeah.
I liked walking a lot better because we go somewhere and he just wants to crawl, and I'm like, we're at like a restaurant. I'm like, I don't know how clean the floors are. I don't know. So walking's a lot easier. Now you just have to follow him around. He just never stops moving.
Zach Binding, ladies and gentlemen, KTRS family. Thanks for coming in, man. We're back. Big 550 KTRS. Let me do this. Let me do neighbors. Let me do Rudy Beck. Can I do Rudy Beck? And then we'll check in with Randy Carricker here in a bit. Rudy Beck, you want to protect the next generation, right? That's what it's all about. And you got to make sure you do it right, and that's where Rudy Beck comes in. Beck Elder Law. Rudy, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, they are the trusted team of Beck Elder Law or BeckElderLaw.com. It's as simple as that. All you need to know is that there's lots of things to go wrong. You can do it wrong lots of different ways, but there's probably only one or two ways to do it right. Rudy Beck will explain what trusts are. There are all different types of trusts. You don't want to do probate. What about a will? How do I protect it for this generation, the next generation? All of that is part of the estate planning, and that's why Rudy Beck's been doing it for 50 years, and that's why the man has the respect of the industry and everybody else. He's in St. Charles, both sides of the river, north, south, east, or west. The hardest part is the first phone call. Make the first phone call. The rest is easy. BeckElderLaw.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Let's talk about legacy. Yingling, 196 years of brewing. So meet the next generation of light beer. Flight, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Flight is crisp, clean, and actually tastes like beer. It's time to level up, St. Louis. Flight from Yingling.
Yenzer Family Dental has been located in Chesterfield for over 2 decades at the corner of Chesterfield Airport and Long Road in the Chesterfield Valley. Dr. Yenzer has been treating patients for the past 21 years and now welcomes Dr. Andrea Monstero to Yenzer Family Dental. Both doctors, along with the amazing staff, are dedicated to your care and oral health. The entire staff is committed to making your dental care and treatment a safe and successful experience. From the moment you walk in the door, you are treated and welcomed by a friendly and knowledgeable staff and receive care with some of the most advanced dental technology available today. Our goal is to add peace of mind to the friendliness and clinical excellence you can expect from Yenzer Family Dental. Give them a call today at 636-778-3019. They would love to see you soon and will never underestimate the power of a smile. Yenzer Family Dental, 636-778-3019 or yenzerdental.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary sports broadcaster, Randy Carricker, here on the Big 550 KTRS. Good morning, Randy Carricker.
Good morning, McGraw. I'm so thankful that you still do these toy drives, and every single year you're such a huge part of our community, and I'm just so proud of what you do, and I think everybody in St. Louis should be proud of what you do to help out the community and help out the kids at this time of year.
Well, first of all, no one does it better than you. That's one. I don't think you've, in your 40 years of broadcasting, you've said no 3 times, and that's because, your mom was sick or something. So, I mean, you're right back at you. But today's a very famous day. Today was the day we all got fired at KTRS.
Is today the anniversary?
Yes.
So you and I did a toy drive, remember?
Yes. I was telling Joe Davis all about it on the break. But here was the thing. So it was 2005, so 20 years ago, and they called me into the office. Tim Dorsey says your services are no longer needed, and I said, well, do I have to do the toy drive today? They said, we'd like you to work another 3 weeks or whatever. So we go out to Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, and I didn't know anybody else was fired. So I get out there, and I see you, and I'm like, Randy, I just got fired. You're like, me too. I'm like, oh, you got fired? And then you were the one who told me everybody else got fired. Everybody but John Hadley. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. Al Brady Law. So Al Brady Law came. So he made his bones. He was the program director that took over at that time, and made his bones by doing something that you and I could have done in 1977. He programmed disco on a New York station. We could have figured that out. I was 15 and I could have done that. So anyway, this is how this guy got his legendary status. He comes in, and so he lets me go. And as I'm walking out the door, I said, hey, Al, have you been around St. Louis at all? Have you gone to the Hill? Nope. Have you gone to Florissant? Have you gone to North County? Nope. Have you gone down to like Limay or anything? Nope. I said, you might want to get to know this town because we're pretty provincial here and people kind of take care of their own. And he said, Randy, if you knew this town so well, you wouldn't be standing there. Touche.
Yeah.
And I walked out.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, the things work out the way they work out, and you landed on your feet, and we all did better, and we all sort of move on. But it's a great radio story. Speaking of great radio stories,
by the way, I'm thrilled to be back, and I've always had such a great relationship with Mark Dorsey, and he's always told me, even from that day, he said, "Hey, you're always a part of the family here." So I'm thrilled to be back.
Yeah, and it was it really wasn't a Dorsey call at all.
Not
The
at all.
Dorseys would have done it very, 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 very differently. Speaking of local boys done good, how about your buddy Joe Buck and legendary Jack being the only father-son Hall of Fame duo in both the Major League and the NFL Hall of Fames?
Yeah, when Joe was named as one of the 10 finalists, I texted him and said, hey, congratulations, good luck. And he said, yeah, I'll never get it. They aren't going to get a national guy. This has become a local guy award. So he legitimately was shocked when he got the call the other morning. And it is just so thrilling for me because Joe, and he's just a great human being. He's another guy that does amazing things for his community. And I think that he's as good as it gets in the broadcasting realm. He never makes a mistake. He's still, to this day, at the age of 56, and he's done everything, but he still works as hard as he ever did. And it's really cool because, obviously, he wanted to grow up and be like his dad. And here he is joining his dad in the Baseball Hall of Fame. By the way, 6 broadcasters are winners of the Ford Frick Award for the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Pete Rozelle Award for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Joe and Jack are 2 of those 6.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I've often said this, listening to Joe all these years, is that he doesn't, whenever he started, I know he started young doing Cardinal games, when he was 22 or 23 or whatever he was, but he really started when he was 4 or 5 when his dad started taking him to games, right? So he doesn't have 20 years of experience or 30. He's got 50 years of experience. I mean, he was born into this, and so it's in his DNA. And I said this the other day on the show, and I told him this, and I don't think he appreciated me. I don't think he truly grasped how brilliant I think this is because he just did it. But before I moved to St. Louis, it was the Mark McGwire home run chase, right? And the whole country is sort of caught up in this. And everybody's watching. And I'm living in Omaha, and I'm watching this. And I see McGwire hit 62. And all I hear is, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Joe Buck. Jack Buck's, I just know these names because they're famous. And Joe knows the guy's name who caught the ball.
Yeah, right.
It was the groundskeeper guy, right? And I'm like,
right.
And it was the whole who's going to catch the ball, who's going to pay for, who's going to buy it, oh my God, who's going to get the ball, who's the lucky person? And I'm like, and the story of the summer is who's going to, and the announcer knew the guy who caught the ball. I'm like, that guy knows his stuff, man. I know it was serendipity. I know there's a certain amount of luck involved, but to know the guy's name, that's a great story.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic, and that is so quintessentially St. Louis. And, I mentioned this on the podcast yesterday on STL Sports Central on YouTube. But I think Joe is as good or better than anybody else. And I know this sounds like a weird thing, but he's better at watching a baseball game than anybody I've ever met. Let me tell you what I mean. We would stand, remember at the old ballpark where they had the steps between like the back row and the front row where the broadcasters were. And when Joe wasn't doing play-by-play or involved with the broadcast, when it was he and his dad, or Mike and his dad were doing it, or somebody else was doing play-by-play, we would just sit and talk about other sports because he's a huge football fan, obviously, a huge Blues fan, and we could stand up there for an hour, talk about other sports, and he's looking me in the eye, but then he could go back down and know exactly what happened in that inning. I'm not paying any attention to the ball game, but he's able to have a conversation and still know that a guy hit a ground ball to the left side of the shortstop, and the shortstop made a good play and set up a double play, things like that. I've never met anybody who has just the innate ability to watch a game, and I think, McGraw, that goes back to what you're talking about. He's done it since he was 4 or 5 years old. It's just part of who he is.
Yeah, good stuff. Randy, your friendship's been very, very, I'm very honored to be your friend all these years. One of the first people I ever met when I first moved to St. Louis, and you couldn't have been any nicer all these years. Merry Christmas to you and your family. We're glad to have you back in the fold. We love your sports commentary. Real quick, before we let you go, who is your sponsor?
It's our friends at Dalco, and they are having a great holiday gift-giving setup for you. The holidays are here, and Dalco is in the giving mood, and they've extended their great window offer. You can still earn a $600 tax credit on new windows. Plus, Dalco has upped the ante to an additional $260 credit per window for up to 10 of their Elite Series windows. That's up to $3,200 in window credits with Dalco, plus 0% financing for 18 months. The Energy Star tax credit offer is ending, so order your windows by the end of December to get this deal. Call 314-298-7300 online at DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. Thanks, McGraw, and I feel the same way about you. Ditto. So we'll talk soon.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement T experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry up that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Dogtown! Dogtown Pizza, that is. Stuff your stockings this year with one of 13 festive flavors. You know, foremeat and sausage, hot chicken and bacon. But do you recall my most favorite flavor of all? Pepperoni, peppercini. So let's all conspire as we eat by the fire. We'll frolic and play the Dogtown way. Make this holiday season a Dogtown wonderland. Happy holidays and Merry Dogtown!
Big news, St. Louis. When it comes to selling your home fast, for cash, and as is, the community has spoken. Robank Properties LLC has just been voted Best of the West by the readers of the West News. Why? Because at Robank Properties, we keep it simple. No repairs, no cleanup, no showings, no waiting on banks. Just a fair cash offer fast. Inherited a property? Facing a move? Tired of being a landlord? Or just ready for a hassle-free sale? Robank Properties is your trusted local buyer, committed to honesty, transparency, and making the process painless from start to finish. And now, thanks to you, we're officially best of the West. So if you're thinking about selling, call the team your neighbors voted #1, Robank Properties LLC, cash buyers of homes as is. Visit us online or call today for your no-obligation cash offer at robankproperties.com or call Mike at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Robank Properties LLC, we make selling simple.
Now back to the Big 550 KTRS Salvation Army Toy Drive. Broadcasting live from outside the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza.
This hour presented by Woods Basement Systems, Outdoor Living, and Legacy Wealth.
Speaking of Legacy Wealth Advisors, speaking of Frank, it's his 110th birthday today. Playing a little Frank for us today. All right, we'll get to the Bricker Brothers in a minute. But Legacy Wealth Advisors, big supporter of the Toys for Tots campaign. Bring a new unwrapped toy out to Westport. Come on by. All the shows will be broadcasting out here. Alvin Reed's here. I saw Frank Cusimano running around. Julie and Carney are going to be out here, the afternoon show. So come on by, bring a new unwrapped toy. And the man behind Legacy Wealth Advisors, Kevin Lloyd, joins us. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning.
You're in the thick of the Christmas spirit. You got 4 little ones. One's in college, and the youngest one is 6.
Close. She just turned 7 last Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
And my 12-year-old just turned 13 today.
Yeah, so you're in the thick of the Christmas spirit, aren't you?
We definitely are. 3 birthdays in December, then you got Christmas coming up right around the corner. So, yes, absolutely. We are in the thick of things, and here we are at the last bit of the year to make sure we put the final touches on everything for our clients as well also.
Does it get any easier with all the kids and all the Christmas stuff?
You know, it does get a little easier because they have this app out there now that the kids can actually get on to put things that they want for Christmas. So
Right.
it gets a little bit easier. But they know when someone bought something. They just don't know who actually bought it.
Yeah, because it's sort of like a bridal registry. It sort of comes off the list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we had something show up at the door just the other day, and it was Diodora's, and I wear Diodora's shoes, and I had it on my list and stuff, and it comes to the door. I said, "Oh, it looks like someone bought me shoes," and she goes, "Yeah, Mom had them shipped to the house." My wife said.
That's funny. I had a bottle of whiskey in the car, and she was getting in the car. I was like, whoa, don't look. And I gave it to Emerson to hide it. What's this, Daddy? Don't look. Just hide it. Just hide it. Legacy Wealth Advisors has been in business how long?
We've incorporated in the year 2008, though I've been a financial advisor since 2001.
Right.
So 24 years doing this.
24 years. Lots changed in 24 years, hasn't it?
A lot has changed. Regulations have changed,
Yeah.
which means more paperwork for us.
Yeah. But, I mean, just in terms of taxes and investing strategies and, all of that stuff, I can only imagine how different it is today other than when you first got
It
in.
is. It's forever changing. You know, every time there's a law changing with taxes, we have to be up to date on it to make sure we're doing what's best for our clients and taking advantage of every opportunity that's presenting itself. And, like with the big, beautiful bill, and, it's not like it's like 3 pages, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about a few hundred pages you got to filter through everything.
Well, and they don't even know what they passed. So how are you supposed to know what they passed?
Right, I think even one politician said you should just pass it just to see what's in it, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy.
Do you see one of the kids taking over one of these days?
You know, I would love for one of my kids to take over, but I can tell you the first 2, the oldest 2, most likely would never happen.
Yeah.
If it was going to be anyone, I would say it'd be Piper, the one that just turned 13 today.
Yeah.
She would probably be the only one that would work with me, but I would always start them from the bottom up, right? It's not like, hey, here you go, you get everything. No. You got to start from the bottom and understand how this works.
Yeah.
And understand the processes and systems behind everything. So
maybe. The Johnny Londoff model, the Jennifer Williams model, right? I mean, they started off cleaning off the cars in the snow, and Matt Williams started, in the shop, cleaning the shop and cleaning the saws and everything else. That's the best way to do it, right? That's how you learn it.
I agree. I think it's the best way to do it. I don't want to just give my kids something and just make them feel like they're entitled to it. I want them to actually work for it and love what they do. So no matter what my kids do, work for me or anybody else, I just want them to be happy.
Yeah. That's Kevin Lloyd, Legacy Wealth Advisors. Each week we do a show on the weekends when retirement happens. We talk about retirement. But off the screen, off the air, he's a dear, dear friend and good peeps and a great family man, and I'm just proud to call you my friend.
And I'm proud to call you my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right. We are out. Carl's going to take it from here. Don't forget, all day long, come on out to KTRS, new unwrapped toys. Drop them off. The Marines are here. That's why Rose is still hanging around. There's a couple of men in uniform that she wants to make sure she says hi to. Bring a new unwrapped toy. We'll be here all day. All the shows will be out here in the atrium. Come on by, say hi, have lunch. Check out Westport. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Everything's going to be up online, KTRS. And we'll see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend, everybody.